Testing, testing. Hopefully, you hear me. Oh my god. Anywho, y'all see the thumbnail? Are the powers that be playing games with us? Pretty much. Sorry for the technical difficulties. They're laying cables out here. I finally found out what's going on with our internet and things, and our equipment, and our devices. They laying cables and doing a lot of wire work outside. But anywho, the powers that be playing the games, pretty much. But before we get into that, y'all know the drill. Let's turn to. Back. Welcome back. Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. I swear I think this mic don't work that great. But anyway, I am so sorry. I know you guys didn't see me 3 days last week. Well, let me tell you, I finally figured it out. Some days we got internet, some days we don't. And that's because, Justin, can you hear me? Okay. And that's because they're laying fiber optic cables and other kind of cables out here in the ground around here. And I would say they like 10 years late. We was like the only neighborhood in our town, like our whole town had options. Like if they wanted to roll with AT&T for internet or WOW or Xfinity or whoever, they had those options. Our place, we was lucky to even get internet. Like the first development in our little town. Our town went from maybe a couple of hundred people to 60,000 in 10 years. I bullshit you not. When I moved out here, this town was small as I don't know what. And they even separated like a city. And then some parts is just part of the town. Some part of the part of the downtown city, and the other parts are just the perimeters of that. So we're the last of the Mohicans to get all this cable work done. But either way, I think the people are messing up. they clipping stuff, they knocking stuff. I don't know what they doing. Because where I live, all the wires are underground. We don't have those. We have some, and those are relics of older stuff that been here in the town long before I got here. But all new development, everything is underground. So I just found out we're gonna get some new some new options, which I like because we feel trapped. We could only get the time when I moved out here, AT&T or DirecTV. Those were your choices. That's it. And now we're gonna have several choices. So y'all, if y'all see me come on or don't come on or be late, I gotta work with what they doing out here. So that's the reasoning. Because last week I couldn't get on. I waited and waited, then I was like, fuck it. It happened like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I came on Saturday though and watched the fight. But when I don't come on, I guess you guys be like, where's she at? I guess she stopping her what you call them, but I'm not. Telling you guys it is them interfering with what we already have established. Laying extra cables and all that. My grass is all padded up. Like they spray painted all these lines, and we come out to flags all around the yard, and it's just that's where they're gonna dig up the ground and do some. Anyway, y'all know at the beginning of the show we talk about water. I wasn't on my water thing today, not like I should. I drank probably about 7 bottles today. I need to get better. I don't know. I was off today. But the importance of drinking water here at Boxing Fans Talk TV. We advocate for 100 ounces of water per day. Y'all hear me okay? Because it really sounds weird coming. It's like it's going in and out. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Tight. If I turn it down, would it make it better? I don't know if it's the volume that's way loud. If that made it better, let me know. But y'all see the thumbnail, and I basically was asking the question of the powers that be trying to prepare us for a draw between Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. And y'all know for months, I've always said, it's gotten to the point that unless Terrence Crawford says something or his team, like Bomac and maybe Bernie the Boxer, I'm not going to consider it credible, or Team Spence. Unless Earl said or his team. L Dub is in the building. What's popping, King? Can you hear me okay? I turned down the sound a little bit because it seemed like sound is coming in and out. And hopefully you guys hear me loud and clear. But yeah, I was on that as they said person out there, Miles, I'm not gonna believe anything. Now we're hearing the rumblings that fight is gonna be in October. Now I have changed my mind a little bit only because of the source where this is coming from. I'm noticing some of legitimate betting places are putting up odds for this fight. By process of elimination, I give it a little credence, even though they are not Team Spence, they are not Bud Crawford's team. I give it a little bit of credence because I know that in order for these legitimate gambling places to have odds and already trying to set up shop. They got their information from somewhere. You know, when a boxing match is going to be on, there has to be money put down on the venues or the locations, you know, stuff like that. Those things has to be paid for and secured in advance. So because I know that, because I know these places like I'm gonna call them bookies, this is where they get their information. That's why I give it a little credence. Right now, these bookies seem like they got it down for either October 29th or October 30th. I'm gonna roll with the 29th because October 30th is a Sunday. General Big Fish is in the building. What's poppin', King? Happy belated birthday. It's T Bud getting stopped. No need to discuss the draw. Nah, you know, I think they setting us up for a draw, Big Fish. And I'll tell you why. If you look at the odds, now I know this is our first peek the game with the odds. Um, the numbers have changed slightly, but it doesn't do you no good whether you're an Earl fan or a Bud fan to bet on this fight. And I don't think these gambling places want it to be like that. It doesn't do you no good to gamble on them. You're not gonna win money. You might even lose money. You know, like it's there's I forgot which one of them. I think Earl, if you bet 125, you'll win 100. How does that make sense? You know, but that's how these. It's basically 50-50. But I'll tell you where you can get a come up on betting on this fight. It's 1,800 plus. That's the number. You know how the numbers be negative or plus? 1,800 plus. And you're gonna have a bigger come up if they draw. If you bet on a draw, you'll make some money on that fight. General Big Fish said, appreciate the birthday wish. No problem. Problem, King. And that's what I've been watching here lately. Now, does this mean that the fight is definitely October 29th? I can't say that. Y'all know I still rock with if it's Team Spence or Team Crawford, unless they say it out their mouth. But what I will say, having the bookie set up shop is a good indicator of when this fight gonna go down. Because they're getting that information from somewhere. And somewhere is usually a credible source for them. For them anyway. Because otherwise, bookies would just put up the number. And we're not talking about running the mill like on the street corner bookie. I'm talking about legitimate gambling places in Vegas or wherever. But again, the way it's looking, you know, they claiming this gonna be the biggest fight since Pacquiao and Floyd. They thinking that they can make like 100 million off this fight, and they probably right. They probably right. But I'm gonna tell you, whether you're an Earl fan or a Bud fan, you're gonna be angry if they try to make sure this is a draw. You know, that's when you'll say everybody got too much. Too many people got too much power over this thing. It's too many hands in the pot. And why would they want it to be a draw? Easily. So they could come back and rip some more money off the second time around. But who does that hurt? That hurts both Earl and Bud. Because I'm sure those two don't want to draw. But if either one of them are listening to me, this is what y'all got to face. Y'all cannot leave it up to the judges. I'm not saying pull no tomfoolery. No, don't bring a bat in there. Don't bring a knife in there. Don't, in other words, cheat. Don't do no extracurricular. But you got to leave it all in the ring. You cannot, Bud. I'm gonna tell you right now. You know I'm team Bud, but I say the same for Spence and his team. The same is applicable. But you know, since I lean towards Bud, I'm saying it to Bud. But it's applicable to both. Do not leave it in the judge's hand, Bud. Don't leave it. Don't let it be a close fight. Because either you're gonna come out without a decision or they're gonna make it a draw. And none of us want that shit. Because all this doing is going to prolong the inevitable. If you look at in this past year or past history, the last 5 years, you can tell they're not above doing that. What you think they did with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder? That was a money play for people outside of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. That's all that was. It was all for the money. It had nothing to do with those two fighters. I don't even rep Tyson Fury like that. You guys know that. But it had nothing to do with them two. Because if you thought that first fight was a draw, you crazier than a motherfucker. And a lot of people will argue, oh, but Tyson, he outboxed him. He's such a boxer. He's a big guy. I don't care about none of that. I posed the question a long time ago. Tell me something you can do unconscious. I'll sit here and wait. I waited. I asked the question several times. I waited. Nobody gave an answer. Tell me one thing you can do unconscious other than sleep. If somebody was thinking clever, they'd be like, oh, you sleep? But tell me other than sleep, because you can't do shit when you sleep neither. But tell me anything you can do that's actionable when you're unconscious. And don't take my word for it. Tyson Fury himself said he was unconscious. So if you're unconscious during the time of the fight over. But the powers that be saw the big interest in that fight, knew that they wanted to run it back. And y'all can say, well, T, who you talking about, powers that be? It can be, I can see the sanctioning body's hands all over that. I can see Bob Arum's hand all over that. I don't think Tyson Fury wanted that. I don't think Deontay Wilder wanted that. I don't know about PBC. But I can see people who are greedy, who can make a come up on matching the big fights. I can see them saying that because it'll be sweeter the second time around, money wise. TJ's big dog is in the building. What's popping, King? That salute, Queen T. So yeah, I can see that. Looking back now, I can see that. I never really go into fights thinking that, you know, like, or maybe I'm naive sometimes. I didn't go in there thinking like, oh, y'all want to draw? I'm thinking at best, everybody wants a decision. I'm thinking everybody's on the same page and we all want a decision. But, you know, like I said, if you can pull 70, anywhere from 50 to 70 mil at the gate, because I think the first fight of Deontay and Tyson Fury was in Vegas. Earl and Bud is probably going to be in Vegas. You know, if you can pull that kind of money at the gate, why wouldn't you want to do it again? But now, I look at it like, what a slap in the face to the fighter. It would be a slap in the face to Earl. It would be a slap in the face to Bud. Because now, they once had an undefeated record, and now has a blemish on it. But see, them greedy motherfuckers, like a PBC or all the powers that be, everybody on the peripheral of these two gentlemen would be like, "Oh, it's not bad, not bad. It's just saying a draw. We ain't say they lost. It's just a draw. Maybe they want a perfect record when they retire." I'm just looking at the odds, y'all. What the gambling folks saying that the odds are for this fight, and they calling it. Like right now, Errol Spence got negative 125. So if you bet 125, you'll win 100. And Bud got positive 110. So if you bet 100, you'll win 110. That ain't shit. Why would anybody bet? But to get a draw, it's positive 1800. See that shit? You telling me these people wouldn't do it? They ain't quick enough to do some shit like that. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth at this point for that pending fight. What y'all think of that? This is Rob. What's poppin', King? Welcome to the building. He said, you think Bud is going to sign with TMT? Pretty interesting how Bud was seen with Mayweather at the club after the Shakur fight, and Mayweather went out his way to mention Bud in his Hall of Fame speech. I don't know. This is Rob. That's interesting, though. Capson G Full. What's poppin'? I caught your video. You put me in there. Hey, Lady T, what's good, King? But this is Rob. Let me say this. I was meaning to get back to that Mayweather thing too. Mayweather, he one of them. He's a riddle wrapped in an enigma. If that makes sense. Mayweather, we know he's braggadocious. We know he's egotistical. We know he's conceited. He's probably a narcissist. And I think as a superior athlete, you have to have those qualities in you. Anybody bad as a motherfucker, you gotta kind of have those qualities in you. And the trick for that individual, for any individual who have those qualities, is the thin line between being an outright narcissist or just being that sure of yourself, or being that damn conceited, like that you think the sun rises set on your ass or whatever. But a lot of times I use what I've seen in Mayweather in and out the ring in applicable things in life in general. Like you could use his life as analogy. I am a Mayweather fan. He is the GOAT. I don't like how he act outside the ring. Like I do agree, like all the criticism that he get, it's nothing really I can say. Because it's not like I don't see what people see. However, if Mayweather says he's part owner, or when he says stuff like, I'm the PBC and the PBC is me, I don't know what to think of that. Like, I mean, like, as far as I know, Al Heyman on PBC. But we don't know backroom deals that been cut. We don't know where Al Heyman got all his money to start it up with. We don't know. And so, because we don't know, it's hard to put a thumbnail on it. You know what I'm saying? But what we do know is PBC wouldn't be shit without Mayweather. That's what we do know. And I ain't never known Mayweather to lie about shit that he got. Never known him. When Mayweather say he got this money, he got these properties, a lot of people don't believe him. But in time, you grow to believe him. Because he showed you. He got so much he doesn't have to prove. A lot of people were saying years ago, oh, he's broke. He got IRS problems. Anybody rich got IRS problems. Well, I remember one year, and this is I think before Trump got elected. So this had to be maybe 2015, 16, somewhere around there. Mayweather's tax that he had to pay out. Because you file your taxes. And if you're lucky, you break even. That's if you lucky. If you super lucky, they owe you some money, right? And most people outside of those parameters, they owe the government money. They owe them something. They just hope that it don't be a lot. So a lot of people who year after year after year have to pay money back, they be like, oh, I just hope I break even. Stay in the building was Poppy King. They say can't be a draw if Bud stops sprints. I mean, he has to knock him out, but Spence has to knock Bud out. If they give a draw to that fight, it's bad for both of them. It's not gonna be good. But if you look at the betting odds, that's what it look like they're gonna do. This is why I'm saying it. Has nothing to do with nothing Team Spence has said or Earl Spence personally has said. Has nothing to do with what Crawford has said or Team Crawford has said. They said he gonna be begging Derek to pull him up, to pull him out of there, pull him out when Bud whipping his ass. Gonna have Errol pull a Duran and say no mas. That'd be cool. We take it how we can get it. We take it how we can get it. Hot butter yellow, we take it. Hey, y'all don't forget to hit that like button. Remember, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And if you're watching the video on replay, go ahead and drop a comment. I do read them. I read them. And, I take them in consideration, but I am me. And I always will be me. But like I said, Mayweather, you can't really say, in his mind, he owns or he got a piece of the PBC. And I can't with a straight face say it's not all the way true. When else did he lie? And like I said, back there 2015, 16, he was like, oh, he owed money, he got IRS problems. Mayweather had to pay back in taxes like $38 million. How you gotta pay $38 million back and don't be sick as a motherfucker? And still be out there popping your collar, buying shit, Bugattis and all that. I don't know how you do it. But that was one of his tax returns. I remember that. I can't remember if he showed it. I don't know how. I can't remember how we knew it. But I remember one of those years he was like, yo, I paid $38 million. Like, what? At the time, I'm like, what CEO, when the Sam hell going on? Like, what company you got? You're the CEO and all that. Because a long time, Mayweather was saying, I got Mayweather promotion. I'm my own boss. And he started that bullshit. He got everybody else trying to say that that's what's going on with them. But if y'all remember, Mayweather made the bulk of his money and did the bulk of his career with what promotional company? What the latter part? Let's say the latter part of his career with what promotional company? That would be Golden Boy. Golden Boy gave Mayweather a deal he could respect. And then turn around Showtime at CBS took it even a step further. Because what you couldn't say, what you couldn't do is deny what he brought to the table. Mayweather brought at least $1 billion to Vegas every time he fought. Some of those mom and pop shops, they could live off the whole year from Mayweather fights. Just twice a year. Mayweather was consistent. You knew when he was going to fight. All the resources or product or stock that these restaurants and stores brought in, or the inventory they had to go up on, like restock or whatever on. They know that was good money. That was money in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Everybody made money when Mayweather fought. So they had to pay him. And PBC and him, Al Heyman being the kind of executive he is, or the type of money, how he likes to make his money in a hedge fund kind of way, he needs investors. And it would not escape. I would not be surprised if Mayweather wasn't an early investor in PBC, or maybe one of the major investors in PBC. So when he say stuff like, I'm PBC and PBC is me, when he ever lied? And they say, oh, you broke. No. Mayweather told us years ago how he live off his money. He said he doesn't even spend his money. He lives off the interest his money makes just sitting in the bank. And to you and me, that don't mean nothing. I can have both my whole checks in the bank, and it wouldn't make me nothing. Nothing to shake a stick at. Maybe a couple of cents. This dude is living off his interest. He got it set up where the interest is paid to him monthly. And that's the money he lives off and fly around the world with, and carrying that backpack and buying Bugattis and all that bullshit with. He don't have to ever dip into his bank account. Ever. And you know how much that was a month? Back then, it was $7 million. Just before the Pacquiao fight and all them. That's how he had his life set up. So when people be saying he broke, they'll say that like it's a matter of fact. But he don't ever seem like he broke. They always come back later. He ain't broke. He about to have another exhibition fight. And just for the interview that he gave to these people, they paid him $1 million. Mayweather takes that money that he be making on the side, like he do it like it's a side hustle for real, and like, this is my play money. But his play money be millions of dollars. PGH Big Dog, you said it will not be a draw, but they will have an immediate rematch. I don't know, PGH. Look at the odds. Look at the odds that they put on the draw. This is Rob said, I don't believe it would be a draw or an immediate rematch. ESJ said he only have 2 fights left before he moves to 154. He already fought first fight since he stated that. Well, this is Rob. You and somebody else feel the same way. I was thinking that the 2 fights was coming after the Ugas fight, but somebody else felt like he was inclusive of the Ugas fight. So I don't know which way. I mean, that's a good point too. But I always thought it was after the Ugas fight, 2 fights. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he wanted 2 fights, meaning if he lost, he wanted them to run it back. He wanted that option to run it back. But I'm just saying, you guys, nobody wins betting on this fight. You're better off betting your buddy or your next door neighbor about the fight than it is to go to any legitimate gambling setup or anything. I don't know what the proper names. I don't want to say casino, but like, where they got legitimate gambling places, either online or in casinos. Because, like I said, if you if you bet $125 on Earl, based on their odds today, and they will change, then you'll win $100. How you go backwards? I don't all the way know how these numbers and stuff work, because I'm not a big time gambler, but I got the gist of it, a little bit. If you spend $110 on well, now if you bet $100 on Bud, you only win $10 extra. So they do favor Earl. Earl has a slight edge or something like that, a little bit, but it still don't matter. You're not winning nothing by betting on either one of them. you're better off just saving your money. But if it's a draw, those odds numbers say plus 1800. All I know is if it's plus, and the bigger the number is, the bigger the ratio. So if the gambling places got it like that, then what that tell you? Like, see, to me, I'm not saying I'm right all the way, and I hope I'm wrong, to be honest. But it makes me just go, I don't know. Tay said I like these odds. Yeah, okay, Tay, you break it down. Somebody come in here and break down how these odds work. And maybe Miss T got this all wrong. The way I'm looking at these odds, it look like it's better if they do a draw. I don't want a draw. I don't want to draw. You know, this fight is controversial enough. Um, for me, I can tell you right now, because Bud is one of my favorite fighters, you know, I'm gonna have a little anxiety, just a little. Like I try to do the fights where everybody watch with me, I'll sign on and this, that, and other. I don't even know if I'll be able to do that. I know I'll be sweat because when it's a major fight and somebody I really like, man, I'm telling you, I be so wrapped up in the fight. I be sweating and everything. And I know the difference because I can watch boxing. I'm cool, collectible. My fighter on the line, I be like nervous as hell. I be like, I don't know if I can watch it. As Big Fish always say, take your blood pressure. I'm gonna seriously take my blood pressure that day. They said, I hope they get better for Bud. I want Bud to be a heavy underdog so he can make bank. So we all can make bank, huh? Tay said, I can't. Then he said, I'm at Disney. Okay. Oh yeah, everybody be going to Disney here lately. My neighbors at Disney too. Um, but yeah, I'm just saying. I dropped the link in the chat for anybody to join in. They want to break it down, explain these odds or whatever better than I can. But it just looked like to me with the numbers that they got thus far, uh, seem like the money gonna be in betting on the draw. I swear to God, I'm telling you, as a fan, I don't want that. And I would think that neither Earl or Bud want that. I hope that Bud understand those numbers and be like, bump that. I'm not leaving it up to no judge. Don't leave it in their hands at all. And like I said, over time, you're going to see as the days go on that those numbers going to change slightly. But as long as they look like it's a 50-50 fight, it's not even worth betting on. And since when, you know, would that affect? Let me see how I'm trying to say it. If the fight is not worth betting on, does that affect the people who are going to be drawn to the fight? No. Because I do believe wherever they have the fight, T-Mobile, MGM, Stadium, wherever, it's going to generate a lot of money. So the gate going to be off the chain. The pay-per-view is going to be off the chain. I do believe those two things will happen. And I do believe that will make all the sanctioning bodies very happy. They licking their chops at the money they're going to make with these two about to get in the match. Especially, can you see Mauricio Sulaiman licking his chops right now? Because he know. You know? As I told y'all before, with the Ugas fight, not putting Earl down, I'm telling you, I was patient. I looked for his name. It ain't my fault that the WBC said, you know, monthly we're going to put out who has complied with our VADA test and their results. What we can tell you is if any result comes back positive, That's when they're going to apply or make applicable those HIPAA laws. They're not going to tell people's personal business. They'll tell sanctioning body, they'll tell the fighter and the fighter's team and promoter if it ever came back positive. Those are the only people who gonna know about it. They don't say that they're gonna tell their pending opponents, team about his opponents popping positive or not. So if Earl had popped positive, and I'm not saying he did, not what I'm saying out my mouth. But if he had, it's not like they would have told Ugas. But I will tell you this. You got Ugas on the list, Tyson Fury on the list. A whole lot of folks made the list, except Errol. And he is the one who holds the WBC championship belt. So out of anybody who should have been on that list, should have been Errol. And people say, oh, it's T. Wait. Let's give it a week or two. We in June. He never made the list. Even though Captain G breaks it down how Fugazi that list, or how Fugazi that whole setup could really be. It could be just smoke and mirrors because of the fact that the WBC likes to paint the picture like they have a clean boxing program, like they on that Floyd Mayweather shit. But really, are they? No. Because it's cheaper for they opt in to do it the cheapest way possible. They have a start date and an end date, guaranteeing they don't have to spend a lot of money. And they testing after the fight, guaranteeing whatever somebody took, you ain't gonna know after then because all that shit would have wore off. The time to catch them is before camp or during camp, or the fight. That's the time to catch him. But Mauricio Sulaiman and the WBC, they're not sinking money into that. And you got people that take snack. And Victor Conte said, if you represent me with the snack, I'll pay for all your VADA testing. And then you're smoking mirrors because people say, look at the letter that this person got saying, welcome to the clean boxing program. And the letter could be a year old. And they want to offer that up as evidence. No. Because WBC clean boxing program has a start date and an end date. The start date starts the moment the fighter announces the fight. So remember how Canelo was stalling and acting like he wanted to go fight Bivol back in September, or somebody, Joe Smith or somebody, but we was waiting on him to fight Caleb Plant, and they supposed to have that thing signed, sealed, delivered by like that August or something. Canelo was bullshitting around, and then after Canelo, where I see it, after his drugs then wore off, dissipated out of his system, then and only then that he go ahead and say, you know what, I'm fighting Caleb Plant after all. That's all by design. PGA said, don't waste y'all money on Bud. Fight would end with him on the canvas. Facts. I disagree with that, PGA, but I hear you, King. He said, we just need this fight for the real pound for pound number one. Even if, and I'm going to say this now so nobody can be mad, even if Earl won over Bud, he would not be number one pound for pound. Nah, not the way I judge things. No. And, everybody's pound for pound list will look different. I won't not give him pound for pound just because he fought Bud and won. Because if he win, he win. Ain't the end of the world, people. Really ain't. I just don't see him winning. That's all I'm saying. But if he win, he win. But he hasn't done enough career-wise for me to put him as number one. Ain't no fucking way. And a win over Bud does not catapult him to the first place. Because if that's the case, everybody who has been making undisputed here lately, like if that's the case, Devin Haney need to be number one right now. You know, when Usyk won undisputed at cruiserweight, he should have been put number one. If the criteria is only that, but I think pound for pound has a lot of criterion and factors that makes up that list, not just one thing. And that's why I say Earl would not be pound for pound number one. I don't think he should even make number two. He's only been in one weight division. Again, if y'all believe in that, then Devin Haney should be pound for pound right now. Isn't he an undisputed? Has he only been in one division? Isn't he undefeated? That'll be the same kind of resume. Was you know, it'll be the same setup as Errol Spence. Everything that I just said about Devin Haney. And if you can't see Devin Haney as number one, then I don't know how you would see Errol Spence as number one. Just because he beat Terrence Crawford. It's the career, y'all. Career. PGA said Spence already debunked that bullshit. Debunk what? Clarify, PGH. Ricky Williams was popping king. He said make the fight. What's popping king? PGA said boxers need to stay away from Conti. Can't trust that criminal. Well, I mean, he been around for a minute. I gotta say, PGH, this is what I see. It's only since they, Bud and got on, I guess, Team Conti a snack or whatever, and it ain't overnight. Bud been on it for a minute. I guess now that Bud's a part of that, now it's bad juju. I ain't hear nobody say nothing bad about Snack or didn't even care for Snack. I personally don't care for it. I don't hate it neither. I don't like it. I don't dislike it. But I mean, nobody was giving the care about Snack until Bud became affiliated with it. Now it's bad juju. So that's how I'm looking at it. And I'm gonna keep my same energy that I had for Snack before Bud became affiliated with it. Why he, now that I had back then. I don't care either way. Okay, Spence, the A side, needs to make the fight. Indeed. PGA said whoever wins is number one. Number one what? Welterweight, maybe. Spence word means as just as Keith's. He lied on multiple times. And Spence, even here lately, PGH, Spence been caught up in some lies. Hey, they get paid from content. Y'all need to stop it. He did that shit how long ago? Yeah. The content, like I said, it's kind of hard for me to rep a cheater, but I don't think he was in boxing doing it. Might have been with the Olympics and all that. Either way, it's bad. But I told y'all, you guys, I despise cheating. Period. I really despise it in boxing because you don't play boxing, you do boxing, and you're just showing me that you have a disregard for life. And I don't know why something that's supposed to be a sport and entertaining, we got to disregard people's lives. I don't understand that. I can never be a part of that because everybody's lives matter when they get in that ring. Everybody's life is special, it's significant. And we just saw that one African dude, that video of the guy who was punching at the air for no reason. He lost his life. God rest his soul. And won't no nefarious malicious shit going on there. It's just the inherent danger that's a part of this field, all boxing. Yeah, I can't play around with it. We gonna hold people to shit they did years ago. Spence fans is weird. no one cared about Snack before y'all knew Bud was on it. I get scared energy. Tay, they said he was with baseball. Oh, okay. Paid his time though. He paid his dues. I mean, some kind of way, some of you guys' favorite fighters. Y'all like Devin Haney. He was Snack. Been with Snack for a minute. Never heard nobody talk bad about Snack. Their Bud got on it. And I'm not lying. Y'all know I'm not lying. Don't forget to hit the like button. But like I said, you guys, if the odds are an indicator how this fight gonna go, I don't think I think Spence and Bud need to be leery. I really think it's a slap in either one of their face, whether they win or lose or whatever. That people will have that kind of power to make it a draw. Because if they fight tooth and nail, I understand that a fight can go tooth and nail, and you don't really know who won. Like it could be a draw, but you gotta find an edge some kind of way. And that is what we saw when we saw the Spence and Porter fight. Because that shit was tooth and nails until Porter dropped. What's poppin' Caps?
What's good? What's good, Lady T?
What's good with you?
Oh, nothing. Finally got to relax now. You know what I'm saying?
I feel
Yeah.
you hear what I'm talking about? What you think?
Yeah, I had you in my pocket and I'm
And he froze up. Froze.
was like Pacquiao and he just accused everybody, you know what I'm saying? So, I didn't like him for that. But people say like, criminals, right? That like for cyber computers and hackers and shit. Most of the time, the FBI and so, they hire those motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? They hire them to rebound on the other criminals. You see what I'm saying?
What Don King said, only in America.
Only in America.
Do that and come back.
So I hope you wasn't mad at me when I put you in the video with Cece, because I just wanted a positive, not just a negative, but a positive.
I remember you asked me, and I gave you the green light. I'll let you know if it's crazy. I'll be like, man, what you doing? But I wouldn't be mad. I will always be honest. I ain't mad at you. I mean, I smell what you cooking now.
Okay.
Like, I seen you over there doing the pull-ups. I was like, look at this dude.
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
We the same age, man. I'm like, look at you, man. I don't know how you do it. Congratulations. I mean, I see your little rip in your little stomach area. I was like, damn. This dude keeping this stuff up, like at our age.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that I just put another video out, but that one is more about Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. I feel like they're gonna be the next Crawford and Errol Spence. I feel it. I feel it's going. It's happening. So
the thing is, if they ever get an opportunity to mix it up, if everybody start clamoring for it, I believe that Devin Haney will do that fight. I don't think he will hesitate. Remember when he had put that thing out and they was like, oh, is he taking the jab at Spence? Because he said, I don't care about that side of the street shit. That don't mean nothing over here. I mean, he said something to that effect.
Right, you're right. But he if you listen to that interview with Boxing Voice, he did say you watch the video, you'll see what he said. You'll check it out. But I just don't I just don't want this to be the same thing with Crawford and Errol Spence with Devin Haney and Shakur.
Oh man, he I don't know what's going on. He'll be back. He'll be back in a second.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but you'll freeze up sometimes, so we don't catch some things. But I did want to ask you, what do you think about the odds? Because I say unless Team Spence or Team Crawford say that they gonna fight or they got a date, I'm not considering none of that shit real. But here's the thing: the
Uh-huh.
bookies, the legitimate bookies,
Right.
giving the date. But you know where they get that date from? Because in order to put a fight of this magnitude on, you got
Hmm.
to secure the venue and everything months and months ahead of time. You got to put money down. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like if you're gonna be at the MGM, you don't pay for the MGM September. You pay for that MGM right now for
Right.
that
Right.
date.
Right.
And so based on the dates that they getting, because we
Uh-huh.
ain't talking about the corner man hustler and all that, big red on the corner. We talking about actual gambling places. That's legit gambling places. In casinos or gambling spots that people do online, the fan duels and all that, whatever they do. Real
Uh-huh.
gambling spots. They actually got a date with Oz. And they don't come out with that shit and there's something going down.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that's strange. I mean, like you said, it's a 50-50 fight. Oh, you're not gonna make no money off of that unless it would change as it gets closer to the fight. But you're right. I was listening to that. I'm not much of a gambler person, so I don't know odds and the odds of this and that, and I don't really gamble. You know what I'm saying? So I don't
I would
gamble.
say I don't need it, but I had just learned not that long ago. So whenever you see the odds, you see the numbers. They either plus or negative, right?
Right.
If they're plus, that's to your advantage, meaning you're an underdog.
Okay.
And if I'm saying it wrong, anybody in the chat is welcome to correct me because I'm telling you this ain't my forte. But if you have a negative, then you're high up. You're
Oh.
high up. So if you have let's say you can have 3-1s, you can have something like if you bet 100, you win 300.
Okay.
So I guess you'll be plus 300, plus 500, plus 700. Well, to get a draw, the bookies got it right now that a draw would be plus 1800. So that means if you bet $100
You get ten
on
dollars for
plus
coffee.
1800, huh?
You
That's a lot.
because I think you said something about if you bet $100, you only get $10 back for Crawford or something like that.
Yeah, if you bet $100 dollars on Crawford, you'll earn $10 on your bet. That's it.
Oh,
If you
wow.
bet 125 on Earl, you'll win just 100. That's going backwards.
Wow.
You ain't
Okay.
making no money betting on either one of them. But the
Right, right.
draw, 1800. I just
Wow.
told you if you was a plus, and I might be a little bit off of my numbers, but if you're a plus
Uh-huh.
300, that means 3-1, right? So you bet 100, you win 300. If
Oh
it's
man.
plus 600, you bet 100, you'll win, you'll win plus six. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You'll win what you put in plus six times that. Like so it'll be 100 times six. So if you bet 100 on a draw, it's
Uh-huh.
plus 1800. Ain't that
Wow.
crazy? Tay, I know you know these numbers. Chat, put it in the chat, Tay. Yeah, Disney. Chat, Tay at Disney. Put it in the chat.
Right.
How that just if I explain that kind of close to being right. But when I saw them odds, I was like, huh?
Yeah, something's up. So you think they're gonna try to make it a draw or if it
I
goes to
think
a decision?
I think the powers that be will want that. I mean, look at what they did with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. No matter how you feel about it, I
Right.
always I always put a person I
Uh-huh.
always put them against the wall when I say,
Uh-huh.
name me something you do actionable other than sleep
Uh-huh.
when you're unconscious. I was
I,
like, don't worry, I'll wait.
because I had Wilder win in the first fight.
Me too.
Um, and then Tyson Fury just second and third. It is what it is.
I had Wilder win in the third because the fourth round, when he knocked him down, it took him 17 seconds to get up.
Right, right, right.
They showed that.
Exactly.
So,
They did
I
show that.
mean, why they couldn't recognize him as the winner and got away with it? Hey, right before our eyes. They
Yeah,
got away with killing Kennedy right on tape. You know what I'm saying? They get
right.
away with a lot of shit right in front of your eyes
Yeah,
in this
exactly.
country when they want to. But that's why I say,
Uh-huh.
name me something when everybody be like Tyson out boxing, man, stop playing. I'd be like, name me something that you can do unconscious, and I'll wait. You ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing but sleep, and that's actionable too. But you can't even do nothing when you sleep. And don't take my word for it. Tyson Fury said it out his own mouth. I
Uh-huh.
was unconscious.
Right.
So if you unconscious during the fight over, right?
Exactly.
So how was that a draw? Why would they make it a draw? It's the money.
It's the money.
The
So
money.
I hope Crawford don't lay none of that shit on the judge's hands and just knock Errol Spence out. You know,
That's what I'm hoping.
it is what that's what I'm
But
hoping. And,
but I'll say that's applicable to both of them.
right. And I don't know if they signed both of them didn't sign no contract. I was listening to Crawford's sister. She's like, just be patient. Is work is in the works because everything she says she tweets. It's like it's the truth. Like most of the things she's been tweeting about, they when the example was they both gapped on saying that they're gonna go in a mutual spot to fight. That was true. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the true things that did happen when they first met up with each other. They did say they'll go somewhere mutual, but a lot of people forgot that, and she didn't. And she was like, why is everybody surprised that it's going to be in Vegas or somewhere else instead of Texas? Why is everybody surprised? They did dap on it when they first started talking that shit in the beginning. So
Yeah, after that Maurice Hooker fight, and they put y'all back to that in the
right,
hallway when they
right,
both said, and Earl said it first. Like both of them was, how two people talking at the same time, but Earl got his words out his mouth first. But they both
mhm,
like at the same time saying, "Hey, no, it's gonna be neutral ground."
wow, exactly. So I'm just listening to what she's saying when she comes out with something, because basically she's been just saying some stuff that it's basically true. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just hearing what she's saying, but no one's gonna know. No one's gonna know until it comes out. I don't know. Maybe it's October, maybe it's November. I know they better not do it around Christmas because I ain't got no money for that.
I
Christmas
know,
time.
right? I know that's right. Like, look, November or October, either way. I know. Like I said, I'm only giving it a little credence, y'all, just a little. I know Miss T said I'm only going by Team Spencer, Team Crawford, or them personally saying it out their mouth. But I'm telling you, the bookies, and I'm calling them the bookies, they got their information from legitimate sources. Like there had to be money put down to secure the venue, the location,
Right,
whatever. There had to be money put down, but it's not the venue or the location's job to say, "Hey, the fight gonna be on this date." That has to come from the promoters or the fighters themselves to come out and say everything done. And
right,
even with that, it's not finalized, and they put that out too. It's not finalized. I'm talking about the bookies just getting ready. They setting up shop.
right. So they
They
got
just
the
setting up shop. That's all they doing. And so when I saw the numbers, I don't know if when they first set up shop, as far as the bookies are concerned, do they have numbers like this for the odds? I
I,
don't know. Like
me neither.
that's how they started.
Me neither. I wouldn't know because I don't. Like I said, I gambled before and I ain't like how I got the results a couple of times. I was like, nah, I ain't gambling this money. You know,
You
and
you
I,
know what I'm gonna do?
and,
Is I'm gonna
and
watch it every day.
yeah, and
Just keep eye on it.
the gas, buying gas for your car is like paying a freaking utility bill now. You
How
know what I'm
much
saying?
it is up in
Huh?
New York?
Huh?
How much is it in New York? Same for us down here.
That's $5, $6. Some places six, some places five. Five something. Um,
Y'all remember when gas was like 81 cents and 91 cents?
I
Not that
remember.
long ago, it was. I say not that long ago, but George Bush changed that shit for us.
Right.
Like while people always saying they talk about Democrats, it's always been Republicans that do stuff like that. And with this private, see, y'all wasn't in the military. I watched the military go be self sufficient to
Uh-huh.
being privatized, and all that privatization type shit. When they say privatize, it means they give contracts because when the government take you on as a contract for
Uh-huh.
whatever you selling, you could be a cooking a chef team, or you could be a cleaning team or whatever. But if you get a contract with the government, they pay you all your money up front.
Mm,
They pay you for the contract, the bid you put in. They pay you for all the employees you have to have, like
right.
the whole salary or whatever the employee is going to get the whole time that you got the contract. They give you all that money up front. If that ain't an easy way to steal money and hook your friends up, I don't know what it is. And George Bush was notorious for that. Mind you, George Bush and Dick Cheney, they are CEOs or got companies of oil refineries and shit. So
Right.
that's what the Gulf War was about. It was about them folks' oil. That's how it was. And
Mm,
I mean, we all know it now. It was bullshit while we got into it. But you don't think George and them made a come up from that shit?
hmm.
They made a big come up,
Yeah.
especially Dick Cheney and them. And so, they hooked their friends up
Uh-huh.
with these contracts. And because we was fighting over there, some kind of way, they found a way to hike the oil up. You know,
Right.
OPEC does it when they want to do it. And OPEC, I think those Middle Eastern people fall under OPEC or somebody. I don't know who, but all the people that get oil and drill oil and all that, they very clever on how they can raise the oil and this that and that. That's why when Obama was president, they was into fracking. But you see how fracking has now dissipated. Nobody cares about fracking, and
Right.
some companies might still do, but they don't even talk about fracking like they used to. And I don't even know if they doing it. But
Right.
fracking disturbed the earth. And that's why places like where I'm at had earthquakes in the past couple of days.
Wow.
Not that we could feel it, but we never get earthquakes.
Damn.
Virginia, when Virginia to have an earthquake, but that when you disturb the earth and move them plates around, that's
Uh-huh.
what you gonna get. Well,
Wow.
Obama had to do something because the oil price was getting out of hand, and he had to leverage, fossil fuels or whatever, with the fact that whereas other places got a lot of oil,
Hmm.
the equivalent to oil is that gas that we was getting from
Right.
fracking or whatever, the natural gas,
Uh-huh.
and we got a lot of that. We like the mecca of that shit. There's a lot of that in our land, but you disturb the earth to get to it. What you got to do to the earth is just you don't want to do that.
Right. Right. Listen, I gave up on politics. I gave up on the Democrats, the Republicans. They all for the rich. They all for the rich. The banks. They'll never let the banks go belly, go flop. You know what I'm saying? So I just after a while I just see after a while I just see the same tune with both of them. One tell you straight in the face that we don't like you. The other one, they pretend they don't like you, but at the same time, the rich keeps getting richer. So I kind of fall off on. I used to listen to a lot of politics, and I used to listen to after I just got sick of it. I just
You
like,
get tired of it. Yeah, you get tired of it.
yeah, I get tired of it. It's like, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. I
You're
just,
right. You're right. I used to eat, sleep, and breathe that shit.
oh yeah,
I'm a proud Democrat. I still do what I'm supposed to do. And
right,
technically, I tell people, I say, look, it's more beneficial for me to be going to vote for Republican if I just thought about myself.
yeah.
But yeah,
You
because
ready? You ready? All right. Yo, Lady T, I'm gonna talk to you later. I'm gonna check you on the next. I gotta go get some food for my pops. And if
okay,
anything, I'm gonna holler back at you later. If you're still on, I might catch you later.
all right, okay.
You gonna be on later?
I might be. I might be. I don't have a lot of news, but I just wanted to put that out. The thing I got a couple of other news stories, but I'll probably be here. If not, catch me tomorrow.
No, I'm gonna listen to you at the same time. I just, my life is never over. I sit down for 5 minutes, man. I gotta get back up. Man.
You are
All
good.
right,
You're
Lady
doing
T.
a
I'll
good
talk to you
thing
later.
and it just slim. All right, thanks. Yeah,
Take care.
yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, I used to be really into it, and I had to take a break because that stuff can wear you down. It can age you, and you can bust. I felt like you could bust a blood vessel getting into all of that. So I keep it simple. I'm a Democrat, so I vote for progressives and I vote for Democrats. I'm a centrist at heart. I believe everything is a compromise. I believe that's the best way to get along. Is if you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, to meet in the middle, compromise, and give and take sometimes. But some people got vendettas against certain parties, and when you could tell that by the advice that they give, they be like, oh, like when they hate this person, hate that person. But you can absolutely look at them. I'm gonna tell you, when you know somebody is self-serving, ask them, what have you done for mankind? Are you even that type person that do shit for mankind? That's why I could see me up here bad mouthing Republicans, and I do not like them. But I ain't got nothing nice to say, so I just don't say anything. But mostly, I would talk about what I do like. I'm not gonna harp on what I don't like. But when people are self-serving, they hop on what they don't like. I don't like them. I hate them. So because you hate them, I gotta hate them. That's about sums it up. Because I do not see why where you're advocating for the common man. I don't see it. You got a vendetta against somebody, and you want me to jump on your bandwagon. You got a vendetta against Democrats or something like that, and you want me to jump because a lot of people started being like, "Oh, they hate Democrats," but I be like, like I told you, I planted my flag for God and country. I don't even care what y'all do. I'm gonna continue to do what I do, but y'all gonna pay for y'all choices because that's what life is about: choices. You'll pay for your choices. So you can go ahead and vote for the people who clearly want to fuck you over. And then you can cry and say, let's march. You'll be marching by your goddamn self. That's why I don't get involved with all that bullshit. I don't get involved with all that woke stuff and I'm gonna march down the street. I don't get involved with that bullshit because it's bullshit. You ain't motherfucking woke. Yeah, I know you don't know what you're talking about. Especially when they're talking about being the leader of the free world and you can be all right with somebody like Trump taking him. Are you crazy? I have no idea. I know you don't know what you're talking about. You ain't never left this country, but you know so much. I know you don't know what you're talking about. But you're mad for whatever reason, but it's an individual madness or a manufactured madness. Like when they be saying Obama never did nothing. I know I got a picture. I need to print it out of all the stuff that Obama actually did to help black people, but a lot of black people feel like he didn't. And I'd be like, I know they don't know what they're talking about. He did a lot. It wasn't under the disguise of black people. He was helping people because he's not just the black president. He is a black president, but he ain't the black people's president per se. He's America's president. It's like when you wear that uniform, you don't. I wasn't repping just the black people in America. I was repping all Americans. Like I said, it's better for me to be a Republicans because Republicans go out their way, and all parties do well for themselves to kiss, veterans' asses, but and hook veterans up with some shit. But Republicans, they'll tend to go out their way. For some reason, they chase them veteran votes hard, right? Um, it'll do me better for when they're in office. I don't lose nothing when the Democrats come in because whatever the Republicans put in place, Democrats don't take away, and Democrats do stuff too. So, but it's just Republicans. I will say that their bribery is a little bit more extensive, But I think about the world I want to live in. I think about the people who are going to be destitute and left to rot because I don't know what kind of life you expect to have when destitute people are all around you. You think you'll be able to get in your car and people gonna respect your space, respect your property, not want to beat you across the head and take what you got? Think that some law is gonna stop that? When you make people destitute, they don't care about the law. They don't care about that. They care about the next meal. That's a fact. They don't care about your space. These the monsters that these guys are trying to create because they want to take your health care. Like I said, people are a bill away from being homeless, a medical bill away from being homeless. See, like I said, I don't have a dog in the race like that. That is not my issue. When I vote, I literally vote for the common man. I don't vote for the rich. I don't vote for the wealthy. Because that's two different type of people, or the elite. Vote for just the poorest of poor. I vote for the people who's going to address the needs of the common man. Because when you have money, you have access, you have resources, you have options. You don't have money, understand, you're stuck. I don't care about social services of any kind. Like I don't care. Social Security is not welfare. It's not socialism. You pay into that. So let's get that straight. But I don't care about none of that. I don't care if Susie gets a welfare check and food stamps. I don't care. Because same way, I don't make a big deal out of these industrial farms and these oil companies who get welfare from the government, your tax dollars, to put in their equipment, to buy their equipment, and then they turn around, produce their product, and sell it to you for all kinds of high prices. Yeah, that's right. Oil companies get welfare from the United States government, your tax dollars. Nobody cries about that. But we gonna cry about when Susie and her kid get it. The only reason they care about abortion is because the white population is declining in America. Pretty soon it's gonna be 20. Like if you had 100, if you had 5 races and each race had 20 people in it, that's how America gonna look. It's supposed to be that, the melting pot. But people don't like those odds. Change is hard. And some people are, you caught up in your identity. That's a hard thing, and that's all of us. Whatever you think your identity is, when somebody take it from you, it's hard. Like black people now know all the lies more so now than that was told to us than we did before. People don't. A lot of people don't want you to know that because then they're gonna make you feel special. So if I told you this whole world is predicated on melanin, you will start to believe that you're special. Why everything has to be said the way it is. That's why dark is so evil and so bad and such bad juju. And light is so pure and so great. It be down to that type of middle school. Like the black that you see in the sky, that's melanin. Every organ in your body is covered in melanin. Melanin is a hot ticket item. It's more precious than gold. But if we told you that and you believe that, us black people will start thinking we are special. You can't have that. You know what I'm saying? This notion that dark is ugly, that'll dissipate. Can't have that. I'm telling you, when I grew up, the hot ticket item on the pedestal was the Bo Derek types, the blonde bombshells, Jane Mansfield, Marilyn Monroe, the blue eyes, blonde hair, a voluptuous woman. Or For a time, it went from them, like the Marilyn Monroe, to the very thin, skinny women like the Bo Dereks or Farrah Fawcett's and stuff like that. And guess who knocked them off their pedestal? Kim Kardashian. Yeah, I look at the big picture. She changed culture. Whether you want to give it to her or not, she did. Because the blonde bombshell is no longer the hot ticket item. She's not the one to be pedalized. If you're gonna be pedalized, you're gonna have boobs and you gonna have butt. When I was growing up, you just had to be real, real skinny, like a pre-pubescent boy with blonde hair and just had a pretty face. That was supposed to be the hot ticket item. And there was a time when the white guys was into voluptuous girls, like girls with curves, but mostly girls that are top heavy. I'm just saying how culture just changed. The reason why abortion is a big deal, they they make it a wedge issue is because their numbers are declining. If they still were 80% of the population, they wouldn't give a fuck who got an abortion. Make no mistakes, they don't care that people of color get an abortion. They only care that the white people get it. And it's about the number game. And then once these white babies get to this earth, they don't give a damn about them. Because they don't want to pay you welfare. They don't want to pay you shit. So I don't know. It's hard. Like sometimes we get off on a tangent with politics. I don't want to go too in depth, but be leery of people telling you to hate certain politicians. I would never tell you to hate a Republican. I'm telling you why I don't like them. And I actually give you good, legitimate reasons, not made up shit. But to each his own. I always say, hey, go ahead. He gonna get paid regardless. I'm gonna have medical regardless. Nothing's ever gonna change no matter who's in there. I'm gonna have come up regardless. You know what I'm saying? Because they cater to veterans. But what about y'all many out there who gonna fall off? Because a lot of y'all, like I said, is a bill away from being homeless, a medical bill from being homeless. What y'all gonna do? You gonna do when your kid get really sick? What's your answer? Why you listening to other people? Because I'm gonna tell you, there is one group that do not want you to have medical, and they said as much. It's not. I don't have to put words into their mouth. They voted on it 76 times when Obama was president, and Obama refused to sign that bitch. He was like, "Man, you just gonna really just rip um, medical from the rug from underneath everybody? 30 million people or so would have lost medical benefits." You know, when you think about the things you got to go to medical for, I say medical, I'm saying hospital or the ER or whatever. It couldn't go the same way it was going because people was using ER as an acute care place. I still do it to a certain degree, but people was that was their only time getting to the doctor. It was like, nah, we got to start doing some preventive medicine, like the way doctors supposed to do things. See your patients, let them know ahead of time so they can make better plans. The more you know, better you do, right? And they did. And they stripped Obamacare and they tried to derail it. And they just did everything they could. And then them the people you want to be in charge, because I promise you, they'll get their wish one day, but it won't affect me. It'll affect you. D Ray is in the building. What's up, D Ray? He said, salute, Queen. I don't know if we can handle a draw. No, we can't. No, certainly can't. I know D Ray, give me straight. Like I get off on the politics stuff. All I can tell you guys to do is don't take it for granted. Please vote. Vote every time. Don't listen to these fools out here that tell you not to vote. I mean, if you care about people listening to you, and you're trying to hit people to the game. You know how I feel when you're trying to hit people to the game or get people to listen to what I'm saying. I'm trying to help you, and people ignore you or take you for granted, or act like you're insignificant. If you don't like when people do that to you, now I don't understand how you turn around and be blase blah or casual when it comes to voting. Y'all will hear me talk about voting off and on because this is a voting year. Because somebody who was very young years ago, some before half of us was born, decided to put their life on the line so somebody like me can just go and vote in peace. Exactly. D Ray said vote every time. I do. I do, D Ray. If they got dog catcher on the list, I go vote. I vote. So that's on, and you notice I'm not telling you who to go vote for. I tell you who I do. It's up to you. But what I do want all of y'all to do is to go vote. Don't put Mickey Mouse in there. Go vote. Because you're taking these people who laid down their life, and you're taking them for granted. You're making them be insignificant. And some of them paid the ultimate sacrifice, and they could be turning in their graves like, why did I even fucking do it? These people were like 20 and 21 and 19. Just so a person like me, who's black, can go in the voting booth and vote without being hassled or my life threatened. Not just me, for women. Because, as black people got rights and privileges, when that boat rises, so do the boat rise for everybody else. The only people that gets everything straight off the rip in this country, historically and somewhat today, is white men. Everybody else got to play catch up. So all the people went through just for us to vote. Gotta go vote, for you to go vote. Anybody who tell you not to, they're idiots. Don't listen to them. Do not listen to them. Pick somebody, because even when you don't vote, you're still voting. But I'm gonna get off that, yo. It's the voting season, y'all. So get out there, get registered, get all your stuff prepared and all that, because November is coming. And some of y'all, you got the revotes, because I know in Georgia we got to redo a couple of votes. They was too close. It's like a runoff. So y'all might have runoffs in y'all area, but November is coming. So get out there and vote. D. Ray said Joe should let Harris handle this. What you mean handle this? Like, I haven't been watching politics lately, but is something on the docket? Like, talking about just run the second time because he's getting too old. Yeah, I don't know how he gonna thread that needle. Nigga Tay with the vote Republican. That's Tay, y'all. That's Tay. He'll learn. That's him. They said vote Republican. I'm a proud Democrat, in case anybody was wondering. But I can break bread with Republicans and all that. I don't hate them. I just think they got a lot of game. They take their gamemanship too far. Everything is not funny. There should be a line drawn in the sand that either side wouldn't cross. If you're a politician and you don't know how to be a liar, something wrong with you. That ain't the game you want to be in. Like how we say about boxing. If you don't got footwork and leg work, you don't ever need to be in boxing. But as politicians go, if you can't be a good liar, you don't need to be a politician. Because that come with the territory. They say I'm joking. No, you ain't joking, nigga. he said, he said, chill. He said, my whole family vote blue. I would have voted blue. I wasn't in my home state. No excuses. When you go to college, you can find a way. That should be the first thing you do. Y'all go get y'all tags registered. Y'all go do all this other stuff. Go make sure you register to vote. Got kids coming into age, put them on game. It's a privilege, y'all. Y'all gonna miss it when it's gone. And you get the right people in there, find a way to take it from you. Like, think about this. Felons. How you gonna take their right to vote from them? I can understand if you're locked up, you can't vote. But once you get out, what's the problem? Because once they get out, guess what they're going to go straight to trying to do? Or what they advocate for a felon to do when you get out of jail. They be like, get your life right. Go get you a job, right? They tell them, go get them a job. And that job should take care of wherever you're going to be living and this, that, and the other. Isn't that what they tell anybody who leaves jail? Whether they're a felon or whatever. But guess what? That job, you're going to have to fill out them W-2s. And they're going to, Uncle Sam going to take your taxes, whether you're a felon or not. Whether you spend 10, 15 years in jail or not. You get out of jail, you get a job, Uncle Sam's still coming for you, for his cut. And there's a rule on the books. Taxation without representation is against the law in America. That's what that meant. You know what I'm saying? So they essentially are executing an unwritten law or rule over felons. And it's not your government that's doing it, it's your states. Okay? Not your government, your states. So it does matter up and down the ladder. Because a lot of things states do, and we blame the government. And it don't be the government. Like the crime bill. The shit that y'all don't like about the crime bill, that was your state. Or a bunch of states. Republican states to be exact. That made that bill stringent. Joe Biden has always been on the federal level in government. And last time I checked, federal legislators don't make or exact any kind of state law. Going to jail and prison is a state law. The only thing Joe Biden could have written, and none of these Congress people write the laws, somebody else write it. When they say out there, oh yeah, I wrote the law, they just basically saying I sponsored it, I support it. When Joe Biden, as a federal legislator, can only write federal laws. So to all the guys that are in federal prison, maybe you was affected by a law that Joe Biden wrote when it comes to any kind of bills. But all the bills, all of the crime bills that people are mad at, those were done by the individual state. But see, we only vote when the president comes. Don't care about when the governor and state legislators. Don't care about that shit. That's why somebody said in here, they vote every time. That's the way to do it. And they won't tell you, well, all these woke people, oh, the crime bill, like it's been one crime bill. It's thousands of crime bills. Too many to count. Which one? If you go through the whole 20th century, every year there's been a crime bill. Y'all just didn't know that. I just didn't know that. Because see, people talk and they omit stuff. It's lying too. See, that's why you gotta be leery of what some people say. Joe Biden wrote the crime bill. You know how many crime bills has been written in Joe Biden's life in federal public service? Thousands. Which crime bill y'all talking about? Because again, a federal legislator cannot do shit when it comes to prisons and jails. Maybe federal lockup. And since half the people y'all complaining about that's catching them charges is not federally locked up. Tell me again how Joe Biden did that. But he takes it anyway. He's old school. He's a leader. He takes it. He'll be like, I take it. I take the blame. I don't know why, but that's how they was back in the day. A real leader just take ownership. They don't try to weasel their way out, even if they don't haven't done nothing. If it happened in the time frame that they are a leader or around the time that they're a leader, they'll just take ownership. But you new age people, y'all know shit about that. They said because I didn't vote. They said Republicans are racist or have racist. You saying or have racist. That's my opinion. Well, I'll tell you, I have to disagree with you a little. All Republicans aren't racist. There's nothing that we could ever say is an absolute. But the majority of them, I can see why a person says that because they all subscribe to those racist views. Like, what did they say? I forgot how the saying going. But if you're complicit in bad doings, you're just as bad. You can be the person that play the wall and don't say much, but you're complicit in the bad doing. Like you're allowing it to go down. You don't step up and try to prevent it or knock it down or whatever. You're just as bad as the person that actually execute the wrongdoings. The IMO, that felony can't vote. It it is to diminish black and the poor vote. Yeah, they need to fix that though. Felons, if you get out, now I see these are things, these are worthwhile causes that I would want to be a part of. If you're a felon and you get out, if they can make you pay taxes, then you should be able to vote. See, I will gladly march or stand out and protest for something like that because that's progress. I mean, we gotta stop letting shit go by the wayside. But this woke shit and manufacture madness and bullshit, half of these motherfuckers don't know what the fuck they talking about. I can't be a part of that. Macadocious Mac of the South in a building. Papa King, he says, salute the lovely and beautiful Madame Queen Miss T. Thanks, King. He said, L Dub, the expert, PGH, Big Dog, Ricky Williams, salute my brothers. Kings. Chase that thoughts. In my opinion. Okay, I got you. I'll try to remember that today. I'm gonna try. But yeah, just you guys get out there and vote. I'm gonna move on. Cause I'll tell you, I can get caught up on it real easy. I try not to because I just really needed a break. Like having Trump in took a lot out of me because again, I know a lot of you guys have never left the country. Really don't know how much danger having him as the presidency was for this country. You really don't know. Matter of fact, what y'all going through right now with these high ass gas prices and power shortages, that's him. That was Trump. I know y'all gonna blame Biden, but that was Trump because he started a tariff war. They told him not to. And I know if y'all remember when he was threatening to do that, because in his eyes, what he was gonna do was, yeah, I'm gonna fuck them up. But they was like, it don't actually work like that. You're really fucking us up. They tried to tell him. And people think it's so simple. Like when a new person come on the scene, they could just stop everything on a dime. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You have a start and an end date, and you becoming a new president don't mean that you can interrupt what the previous president had going. So we have a car shortage, device shortage, and all kinds of shortage because China is giving us the middle finger, as they should or would when we was giving them the middle finger. I'm just saying, and I'm Team USA all day, but nobody. They tried to tell this dude, don't do the tariff war, don't do that, please don't do that. But his dumb ass, no, that's not a job for the dumb. It really ain't. He's not smart enough to hold that position. You know, But he definitely pulled the scab and the curtain back, show a bunch of racist stuff. But there's things that Trump did, we'll find in history that was relevant and only he could have done. We'll look back and see it because I do believe this country is blessed overall, even with all the bad shit. We're gonna look back and see some of the stuff that he did that only he could have did. You know what I'm saying? That's how the history books are written. Um, or that's how history turns out. You'll understand it better years to come. But you know, this hatred for Democrats, I don't get it. But it's not for me to get. I know what I do. They said, "Do you feel like the Sprints fans have a victim complex?" Yeah, I mean the Spence fans has in recent times had to learn it wasn't sweet like that. You know, the things that they was doing, they gotta actually dot their I's and cross their T's too, you know. But as long as it was one sided, you know. And like I said, you know, I made a point to bring up, you know, with the Hall of Fame things. I see Tyra out there. He trying to clean he hasn't moved from his position, but he do seem like he's trying to clean it up. Roy Jones is saying to you guys like, "Hey, I don't dislike Spence. I don't know when boxing became because you like another fighter better than the next one. Why is that? Why does that mean you hate that person or there's some kind of negativity? You know, men do it all the time. Y'all prefer certain women over certain women, and y'all let it be known, especially when you're single. You know, you pick a girl out of a group of girls, and you be letting it be known like she's better, and you don't care what nobody think or whatever. Y'all do that in y'all everyday life. You know what I'm saying? But these boxers who have been professionals couldn't come out and say who they thought would be better without it being some kind of negativity attached to it. But I don't know. It's those two gonna always have a controversy. As what I put out today, there was nothing controversial that I said about Earl or Bud. I was saying if we're gonna believe the bookies, then the fight will probably be October 29th. And that's the only credence I'm gonna give them because I know they got the information from the folks who've gotten the down payment for the location, or at least that part was worked out or vetted out. So but I was looking at the odds and I was just like, oh man, the only time that you should bet with any bookie is if it's a draw. If you're betting it to be a draw. And I don't want to draw. As a box fan, I don't want you to take me through that. You know, don't take us through that. Cause I pointed out the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fight. They made a hell of a lot of money with that trilogy. I mean, they made some money. But we don't care about you, Mauricio. We don't care about you, Al Heyman. We don't care about you, Bob Arum, even though you ain't got nothing to do with it. We don't care about none of y'all promoters or you networks. Get it the first time up and let's move the fuck on. I don't want it to be a draw. And I'm telling you, if I was Earl or Bud, I would be leery of that shit. Coming to the fight, that would be something that I think about. Because ain't no telling. And Tay said Errol Spence fans are like that because they on the edge because they know what time it is. Could be. But y'all be looking out for that. That is something I'm gonna keep my eye on. And other things. You gotta open look. I'm gonna be looking with all my eyes and hearing with all my ears. Um because I don't know what kind of fugaziness can go down with this fight. Like I'm still tripping on the fact that Earl didn't make the list and he got the WBC belt. Y'all gotta do better than that. Because if you come in there cheating, oh my God. But you making me think that way because you wasn't on the list. And then we don't hear about you trying to do something about that. But God forbid somebody say that you're not on the up and up. You know what I'm saying? But what am I supposed to think? You ain't on the list. Your opponent on the list, but you not. Okay. Let's talk about Yardy. So Yardy, I'm hoping I pronounced his name right, is convinced that he could be victorious against Beterbiev or Smith Jr. We just saw that fight this weekend. Beterbiev put on the show like that dude. That last fight he had with Brown, he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go back with my team," and you know how they be giving that stock answer. I'm gonna go back with the team and gonna review some things and get better. You know that stock answer, right? I This is the first time I see that shit actually play itself out. Because he did say something to that effect when he fought Brown, and he came out different, didn't he? Like, you know, we was all there watching. I mean, he came out there moving, backing up. He was showing, hey, I can box. It's like he had something to prove. How come I better be him? And you could tell he respected Smith's power. That Smith was throwing the jab out. Smith was being aggressive. Smith was acting like what you want your fighter to act like. But Smith did not make adjustments. Whereas Beterbiev made an adjustment. And you can see it. You can see that it was baffling him, Smith's approach right there in the beginning. Because he kept getting tagged. He got in a couple of shots, but he was getting hit. And he probably was like, damn, this dude got some respectable power. And he coming at me aggressive. Sir Antbo is in the building. He says, salute, Miss T. Salute to you too, Sir Antbo. But that's what I was seeing. I don't know what you guys were seeing, but that's what I was seeing. So, but Yardy said, even before they fought, I could beat both of them. Yardy thinks both of them are slow. And I know why he said that. Beterbiev is not naturally a person that moves his feet. And when he started that, I was like, how long he gonna be able to keep that up? Because if you're a person that can take his punch all 12 rounds, trust me, he gonna fall in quicksand after probably like the 4th or 5th round. Beterbiev is not a mover like that with his feet. He's not. But the problem is who could take his punches. And I mean, he was hitting them at will. He's like a Canelo on a heightened level. That would Beterbiev is to me. Canelo on a heightened level. Because face up, I mean, just his punch placement, I'm going to say it like that. I ain't going to necessarily say his waist, but his punch placements. God. Motherfucker was awesome. I don't know who could beat him. Somebody say Dimitri Bivol can handle him. I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. Y'all hit that like button when you come in. On Reckless Eyeball. Jason Jadui. Hey, Queen. What's poppin', King? Poppin'. The Yardy wants the opportunity to face him, though. And he wants to do it in October. That'd be a good card. I don't know. They should stack like Spence, Bud, Beterbiev, and maybe Yardy next. Or Beterbiev and Bivol. Like get all the big time fights. Who else need to like stack a bunch of main events on one card? 4 fights or something. That shit. You talking about that shit. Oh, Tay says just Yard. I just keep calling him Yardy. Yard feels he has the speed and the know-how to defeat him. Maybe he do. Because I'm going to tell you, Smith wasn't holding the phone when you should have been holding the phone. And his punches was wide. They were wide. And I'm telling you, Devin Haney, you do that too. And for that person who is faster than y'all, can take y'all punch and hit hard, you know, Better BF was a little bit faster than Smith, and he took his punch and he hit him hard. That's how you spell his name, Tay. Talking about no E. Talking about don't pronounce the E. He got E on the end of his name. I don't know. That's what I hear. I don't know. It's like Beterbiev or Beterbia. We don't know. Tomato, tomato. He said, I disagree. I think Beterbiev had a good punch placement. Had good punch. That's what I just said. I said that. He had good punch placement, but I do say that Smith was wide with his punches. He was slow. That's the one thing. If you're gonna be wide with your punch, you gotta be able to come quick with it. There's a few fighters that can be wide and get there real quick. Not a lot. I think about old fighters too. But not a lot. Like Floyd could come with a hook and turn that bitch into a jab real quick and be quick. Floyd hits you so quick and so fast. You see them up like Muhammad Ali the same way. You see it when the punch coming back. Not when it launched, when it's coming back. Bud is another one that's quick like that. And when you find somebody who got popped on their punches and is real quick, speed-wise, speed kills. So Yar has a point. But I don't know. Like, can you take the Terminator? I don't know. I'm a fan of Beterbiev, but I wouldn't be shocked at nothing that ever comes out about him. Nothing. He's a very nice guy. He seems like a likable guy. I say that now because of how he act. But shit, I used to like Kovalev till I found out the racist he was. I was like, I don't give a damn what happened to that dude. Tay said, yeah, you don't pronounce the E. Oh, I heard wrong. Yeah, Smith was wide. He was. And Smith kept leaning. As you don't lean with an uppercut person like Beterbiev, because he delivers those. A person who has great punch placement. No matter what you trying to hide and duck, it's like it was wide open some kind of way because every time he hit you, he caught you flush. And then he was like, I'll hit him on the top of his head like a chopping punch coming down. Coming in as a hook over top, but coming straight down as a chop. Kind of like what Maidana was doing. The Floyd and Adrian Broner. Somebody taught them that punch. Somebody taught somebody that punch, and people love it, but they don't understand. I mean, it help you right then and there, but you could seriously break your hand doing it like that. But that's a chance those fighters take. Whatever leverage that they need, I guess they're gonna utilize. But that's what Beterbiev had to do to Smith. And that's credit to Smith. Beterbiev, I seen him befuddled. He was befuddled because in the beginning Smith was sticking that jab out, moving in, being aggressive, doing what you want him to do, and he was getting there first. He was reaching them first. And I seen Beterbiev had to be like, oh, I mean, he had to think. But I also saw right there in the beginning how Beterbiev made adjustments. Smith never did. Smith believed in his power so much that he kept coming in, lunging at times, figuring that he gonna hit Beterbiev real good, and he gonna catch him with something. And the thing about Beterbiev that I find odd is it's almost like he don't feel shit. Like, don't let us find out now. Let us find out. Beterbiev power is a one, in my opinion. Smith ain't ever been dropped, ever. And was dropped like 6 times. He was dropped several times in that fight. But let me tell you, when I saw Harvey Dock being the ref, I said the thing about I love Harvey Dark as a ref. He fair. He, you can tell he on the job, but he takes his job seriously. Harvey Dark will call a fight. He'll call it on your ass. But but every time you can't even argue with him, he'll always call it though. Him and Bird, but mostly Harvey Doc. Harvey Doc will call it on your ass in a minute, but you can't find fault. But it's not. I can't say he don't actually get him a chance to work it out. He sees up close and personal what we don't see, and then when they slow the camera down and you look at it in replay, like he was right. They said, love how he timed that jab. Yeah. They caught him with an overhand, if I remember. He caught him with some overhands and an uppercut. And on the side of his arm. It was nothing that Smith could do. And it was mainly because of his position. And Smith was leaning. Well, he didn't give the illusion that he was closer. Because sometimes the way you stand, you could give the illusion that you're leaning in close. Floyd does this well. And so that's why a lot of fighters be like, why you can't get to this nigga? Because he really ain't close. But he can give you that illusion. But that's all about how you carefully position your body and how your stance is. But some people, in trying to do that, they actually do lean. And yeah, you're gonna get caught every time. And Smith was kind of doing that. He was both of them respected each other's power. But what Beterbiev adjustment was, I'm going to capitalize Smith's mistakes. What's up, ATL? Where you been, shouting? What's up, Queen? What's good, ATL? What's up, King? Yeah, we at the tail end, ATL. But that's what it was. That's what I saw. Beterbiev, instead of trying to box with him, because I'm telling you, a leopard don't change the spots overnight. He showed you he can box. What we wasn't able to see is how long can he box. And he wasn't that great of a boxer. I'm talking about Beterbiev. But Smith was making enough mistakes, little mistakes, for Beterbiev to capitalize off of. I.e., leaning when he shouldn't have been leaning, ducking into, he wasn't holding the phone. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to be aggressive. He was falling into traps that Beterbiev was setting up. All right. Thank for my boy ATL. But that's what I saw. But y'all just understand that yard is the WBO mandatory for whoever got that belt, which is now Beterbiev. And I'm happy because, shout out to all the YouTube content creators because they listening. But I'm talking about the good ones, the bad ones, or whoever. They listening to us because they're making course correction. Now it's popular to go for the Super Bowl. Y'all heard me say that. I gotta take credit for that. I ain't never heard nobody say that. Maybe somebody else did. I used to be like, I want to go to the Super Bowl of boxing. And now I'm starting to hear people saying it. But I'm flattered. I'm flattered that they say that. Because I was like, wow. But I started that. Because I didn't know what to call it. You know what I'm saying? To give that emphasis on how important it was to go undisputed. I know. But, turn me down the back, ATL.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, Queen?
What's good? What's good?
Coolin', man. It was my birthday week last week.
Oh, that's where you been. Happy belated. Happy belated.
Appreciate it, man.
What day was it?
June 13th, last Monday.
Damn, that's a lot of people's birthday. I think Big Fish birthday was June 13th. June
For real?
Yeah. All the Geminis up in the house. What you do?
Gemini Nation.
Gemini season.
It's our last day right here. Look, this is our last day.
Our last day in the sun.
Last day. 21st, I think that's
Answers.
Yeah.
Cancers. Yeah, I know. I got a handful of cancers in my family. I kid a cancer too. Like damn cancers, boy. I tell you.
Yeah, I'm just now recovering.
Recovering.
Yeah,
Mind
man.
you,
I partied all week.
hey, you look slimmer.
Do you know it was yeah, I am. I lost what 27 pounds.
Congratulations.
No, I didn't
Me
want
too.
to. I was on that keto diet, so
Hey, you rolling back the time. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't
I'm
nothing
gonna get it
wrong with
back.
that.
I'm gonna get it back.
Yeah, I'm going back to my 30s. Fuck what you heard. Oh,
You
that's
been all
right.
right though?
That's right.
You been
You
all
know, I'm
right?
gonna have a treat for y'all. I think like I be telling folks I do that Sunday show, but I don't like to repeat and repeat. So if I ain't got nothing to say, I don't do a Sunday show, but I'll say something Monday through Friday in my show about some health stuff that I be on. I'm always like investigating different foods because I like food being the medicine. Because instead of taking pills, I rather eat food that do the
Yeah.
same thing as a pill would do, right? And so a lot of people hire me out to do recipes for them and write out a regimen for them for the month for whatever ails them. I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying, I address certain things based on what you tell me. And whatever I do, I don't go against whatever that doctor say. I want to be clear with that. But I always offer that, right? And I got a couple of people I'm working with right now who have promised me that they'll come back and do testimony. Because now I'm just asking up front. I'll be like, y'all gonna do a testimony? Can y'all please do a testimony? Because I mean, I've
You know
helped
I got one
a lot
for
of
you.
people. Mm,
You know I got one for you.
okay, that's
Cause
yeah,
I
yeah,
told you I was on the keto diet for 90 days.
yeah. You
But
want to break down what
I
that
just
is?
the keto diet is no sugar, no carbs.
Mm-hmm.
So anything with carbs, so anything with sugar, you can't have it. It's basically meat and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? It turned basically everything. It makes your protein go wherever it needs to go throughout your body fast. It helps your eyes, your brain, your heart. It clears your stomach out. You lose weight fast. You burn weight real fast. You know what I'm saying? And in 90 days, I lost 27 pounds. I didn't want to lose it, but I was pre-diabetic, so I had to,
Yes.
get my sugar level down. But I just found out Friday that I'm I'm back on the keto diet now because my sugar only went down 1%. But that's because I was thinking I'm eating sugar-free cookies, but it had carbs in it. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
back on it now, and I'm going to stay away from the sugar-free cookies. But it helps you lose weight fast. My lady, she lost like 35 pounds. She did it with me. She didn't have to, but she lost
Congratulations to
35
her.
pounds. And it's just great if you want to eat, you ain't got to do nothing. The weight shred itself, the fat
Right.
burns off itself. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely something good and natural. You can eat as much meat and vegetables as you want. You ain't gonna really feel full because everything burned up so fast going where it need to go. So if you want to lose weight without paying for anything, the keto diet is definitely a great diet for anybody to try.
That's good. So right now, because I'm gonna tell you guys, it's 1,000 ways to skin a fish. The saying used to be a thousand ways to skin a cat, but I
Mhm.
like cats. I can't say that no more. And I'm just thinking of, oh, why would I skin my cat? I love cats, but I'm allergic to them. God damn, I love that's my favorite pets. But anyway, dogs too, I'm allergic to them too, but I love cats more. Um, anywho, so I have a program, right? And I developed it for selfish reasons. I
Uh-huh.
wasn't I say I developed it for selfish reasoning. I wasn't developing it to be selling anything or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I had thyroid cancer years ago. I'm so not on the level of most of you because I don't even have the gland that makes metabolism. I don't have it. I don't even make it in my body. Um, so I always tell people don't judge how things work for me like how it would work for you. But if it works for me, it's gonna 10
Okay.
times work for you. right? So I developed um this way of eating because I got tired of taking pills. You guys need to understand when you taking these pills, they have fillers in them. And those fillers are usually sugar or some type of shit that your body can't digest anyway, just to make the pill. And
Yeah.
with those pills come side effects. So now you taking a pill for this, and now you develop another problem that you didn't have before, only because you're taking this medicine.
Yeah.
So my thing was, if you got a pill for it, then there's a food for it. This is my belief. So I would take foods that I like, and I would just be like, I invest. I would just look into it, research it, and find out what type of properties they carry, or what kind of nutrients they give you, or whatever. Because believe it or not, whether you're real thin or real big, most Americans are malnutrition. They're malnutritious because that just means people think when you're malnutrition, you're just a bony person or something. You could be fat as hell and be malnutritious. That just means you don't have no nutrition. And every time you don't feed your body, it stay hungry. That's why you can eat a lot of foods and overeat because you keep feeling like you're hungry because you are hungry. Your body hungry because you didn't give it nutrients. You gave it a burger and pizza, something that it don't want and it can't digest. And just like you said with your diabetes. So right now I'm working with somebody who has diabetes.
Well, I
I'll
don't
go.
have diabetes. I'm pre-diabetic.
Yeah, he was pre years ago, and then he just recently, because it happens that fast. I mean, like I tell
Yeah,
people,
if
in
you
your
don't do nothing
40s,
about it, then yeah, you're right.
your body just flip a switch in your 40s. Everybody's age specific as is gonna be different. For me, it was 45. For somebody else, it could be 42. For somebody else, it could be 48. For me, it was 45. It's like a light switch goes off, and your health take a nosedive if you ain't been doing it correctly. You know what I'm saying? So I was sitting up here saying I don't want to be on all these pills.
What you
So,
trying to do?
but I got a program. I've been doing this for years now.
You trying to
Um,
lose? No, I'm saying you trying to lose weight.
I don't go for that. I try to keep my program is find the health in you. Like you said with the keto, when you eat clean, guess what you say happen? Weight is just you ain't even gotta try. It's just gonna happen.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't need like a lot of people with the keto. The reason why a lot of people, sometimes people they gotta pick a diet that they can sustain and keep doing forever. So that's the program I have. I developed one that you could do for the rest of your life.
No, the keto is you could do that for the rest of your life.
Most people can't
It's
though.
the
They
most
can't.
healthiest diet out there right now.
Not really.
Yes, I
I'm gonna
promise you.
disagree. I'm gonna disagree a little bit because I'm gonna tell you like this. Some people don't have an insensitivity to meat, but ATL humans are not carnivores. We are not designed to eat meat, and that's the main reason why I can say it's not the best diet out there. It's not the best diet out there,
It's
but
the
it's a great
healthiest. If you're
diet.
trying to lose weight, it's the healthiest,
Nah,
easiest.
I will put mine up against that one. I will put mine up against that one. I'm confident I can put mine up against that one because, like I said, you're not supposed to eat meat. The
What foods
prevailing
do you
wisdom.
eat with your diet?
Well, when I'm on it, it's nothing but raw foods, raw fruits and vegetables. That's it.
See, that's you going wrong already
No, you're not.
with the fruits.
No, you're not.
Fruits ain't good for you. They got sugar in it.
But
Sugar
it's
is the number
God's
one.
sugar.
Sugar
It's
is
God's.
fruits got more sugar than anything. You think a natural fruit diet works? It got sugar in it. Sugar is the number one killer for our people. That's
But
why I'm on the diet.
ATL,
I can't even
that's
eat
a
no
mis.
fruits. The only fruit I can eat is strawberry and watermelon. That's it. Everything else has too much sugar in it.
But ATL, I'm gonna disagree because fruit, the way God made fruit,
Yeah, it's
God's
supposed to be from the earth. It's supposed to
and
be
listen,
organic.
listen. God's sugar is not bad. It's man-made sugar that fucks us up. But God's sugar will never fuck you up. That's why fruits are not bad. They say it, but it's not bad. They say it. And with some, I know people that say, I did eat some fruits and vegetables, but I had my pizza, my coffee, and my coffee brandy and all this stuff too. Like just the
What
way
you
my
think bread
program
is?
runs, the way my program run, it's like if you
Bread is
think of
sugar.
it, bread is sugar. It is. If you think about it, my program run like I always describe it like math, like algebra.
Did you know a lot of carbs turn into sugar?
Yeah, yeah. Know exactly how the body functions. When I tell you I researched this, ATL, my life was on the line. I don't really think I would have made it to the age I am right now if I didn't change something. That's how bad that food. My body has never liked processed food. In fact, I had a, when I talked to my mom, it's all this stuff I learned in the last 15 years of my life. But when I talked to my mom, she was like, "Yeah, when you was born, I had to get special milk for you." Like my body never liked it. I remember I used to get ass whoopings because I wouldn't eat. My mom would be like, "I fixed this food for you," and I'd be falling asleep at the table. I wouldn't eat when I was a kid, and she was like, "What the fuck?" I mean, that will. I know how that make a mother feel. My daughter used to do that to me, and I'd be like, "I'm cooking for you. You better eat." But I wouldn't eat. I would go all day and I wouldn't eat because every time I ate, I got sick, and I didn't know why. And I mean, you can ask my friends, even in my young 20s, I just didn't eat. It was almost like I was starving myself, but I didn't know why. Because I'm 21, 22. I want to be in the club too, but I don't want to be the party pooper.
So
I
you
don't
shouldn't
want.
have no problem with the keto diet then.
I mean, now that I know that we're not carnivores, that's the only problem I got with the keto diet. Now that I know that we're not carnivores, if it has eyeballs, a vertebrae, and has feelings, we're not supposed to eat it. We're not supposed to eat meat at all. I truly believe in that. And some people don't. That's okay. I will tell you like this, but I am an American and I am who I am, like all of you. I love meat, but I know we're not supposed to. But how convenient for me to learn this shit in the last 10 or 15 years of my life. I wish I'd have learned this shit when I was young. I would have saved myself a lot of heartache. Half the issues I got now, I wouldn't have.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, Miss T. Like I told you, I was on the diet. I had to get a test. After my 90 days, and one thing I can say about my test results is that I had before I had damaged kidney for like 3 months. Everything like I had three different things that was wrong with me. The other two problems plus my kidneys back normal. My sugar went down one. You know what I'm saying? And it just like it's different. I got a Chinese doctor, and he out of all the doctors I done been to throughout all these years, like I get test results. I seen these numbers, and I was like, well, damn, what did this mean? Because nobody ever explained it. But this one Chinese doctor, man, and he sit there, he break it down, he pull it up on the computer, he show you why it is and that. You know what I'm saying? And everything that he has showed me and told me about when I did the 90 days is like true. Like I had more energy. Yeah, I lost a lot of weight. I didn't want to lose weight because I had just got where I wanted to be, but I had more energy. My body was clean. I could think clearly. My vision got a little better. You know what I'm saying? It was good for me. It was hard at first, like the first 2 weeks, but when you see the results after the 2 weeks and you go through the keto flu and all that, it's great, man. And it's free. You know what I'm saying? It burns fat fast. It makes you feel healthy. Makes your skin clearer and feel better. And I just think if you want to try it for 30, I bet you 30 days, if you try it, you will love the results that you have. I have like 4 or 5 people at my job on it with me. And they're doing fine. Like, so, I mean,
No,
Do
I
your
totally agree.
research on it. Do your
No,
research
no,
on it.
I've researched it before. I told like I tell anybody, there's 1,000 ways to skin a fish. Meaning, there's so many different ways that you can do a diet. The problem why diets don't work for some people is because all the ingredients, like the sugar, the fructose syrup, which is bad for anybody, it might be worse on me than it is you. You know what I'm saying? Or that sucrose or that lactase that they put in this food,
Uh-huh. Yep.
it might just do a number on me worse than it do a number on you, but it's
Yeah.
still fucking both of us up.
Exactly.
So basically, like I said, I had to learn. I actually eat in a way that I let food be my medicine. Like I don't eat no meat, but I do be falling off with the simple. I be falling off my diet with the simple carbs. Like right now, I'm in the process of starting this thing up. We going hardcore for
So if you
one.
don't eat meat, what do
Um,
you eat? You like vegan?
I'm not necessarily a vegan. Let me clarify. I can eat tuna fish every now. I'll do because I'll never not eat some kind of meat. But I find myself I don't eat meat, so I don't buy meat to bring in the house. But if I'm out at a restaurant, which is rare, and they make good steak, I like steak, but I don't do ground beef. I stay away from burgers. It's getting to a point. The more you don't eat meat, and when you try to go eat it, it'll disgust you.
Yeah.
So I'm at that point that it just disgusts me. Like the smell, it smell gamey. Like I don't like deer. I would never eat deer because it's a gamey taste or a gamey smell. And regular chicken is starting to smell like that for me too. So it's not that I don't. I actually went and got tested and found out that I have a slight insensitivity to meat, but not big. So I could probably be on a meat diet all my life, have meat in my diet all my life, and I'll be fine. And there are a lot of people. So I'm not like, I don't want the food companies to come at me, but it's like when you want to find out what type of food is really messing you up, because half the illnesses is coming from what we put in our body and the location and toxicity of things that's around us in our environment. So the only way to find out what's fucking you up is to go back to the way it's supposed to be. Human beings are not carnivores. And I know people gonna say, what about the protein of it all? You'll find it in fruits and vegetables. What about getting big and getting size? I want the muscle. The biggest mammals on earth are vegans. The biggest
Why do
hippos,
you think that?
elephants, all of them, they're vegans
I said, why do you think that?
because that's the way you're made to. I think warm-blooded animals are not supposed to eat warm-blooded animals, except if you're an apex predator. You'll know if you're an apex predator or not. These are your lions, your dogs, hyenas. There's We know apex predators when we see them. But if you're not an apex predator and you don't supposed to eat anything with eyeballs or vertebrae and has feelings. And people's like, well, animals don't have feelings. But you can point out any mammal, any baby animal, from a pig to a horse to what do they do? They play. All babies play. That takes emotion. Animals get mad. They'll come after you and kill you. That's anger. That's an emotion. So you don't eat nothing that has feelings, and you don't eat nothing with eyeballs. So and the vertebrae, meaning the backbone, just don't eat them. You don't have to. But I understand that it's our culture and we learn how to eat like that. So I don't necessarily want to take it from you. But what I'm saying is when it's causing you a problem, the reason why people's autoimmune disorders are activated is because they're eating meats and they're eating processed foods. When you take yourself all the way back down to the bottom and work back up, then you slowly introduce one thing at a time, but you have to pay attention to detail and write down the side effects from whatever you eat. It could be ketchup on top of your whatever. And if you you eat that something and
Yeah, I can't eat ketchup either.
Yeah, see, in order to find out that your body don't like ketchup, you had to take it completely out your diet, right? And then try to bring it in and then watch what happens.
They got sugar-free ketchup.
That shit nasty. That shit nasty. So I mean, and then like my program, I take everything out and we eat the way God intended for a month. And then we go back second phase and we introduce one by one. And then the third phase is how you're gonna eat permanently. So, but I also in my spare time, and like I said, before I know it, I had all these notes. ATL, I used to take notes and be like, okay, I need something that's gonna address this or that. Mostly I write a lot of recipes for swelling. Because as you get older, a lot of people have problems with swelling. And I know if you have a problem with swelling, you're having a problem with absorption. And absorption can be bad because this is why women have low iron or people have no vitamin D storage. And all of that stuff can come back to hurt you or low on calcium and stuff like that. All of this stuff can come back to hurt you. So I was like, what can we eat that's going to fix those problems? And then the fact that we're the age we are, we probably have had done damage over the years, and I want to clean up my blood vessels and all that. And I'm gonna tell you, just doing this, I went from 15 pills. I brag about this all the time to 6. And trust me, all them pills I needed to live, but I'm down to 6 now. I don't have a thyroid gland, so I will always take thyroid medicine. There's nothing I can do about that. I have to take that for life. But I want to get off these blood pressure and all this other shit. I want to get off them, and so eventually I will. But I got a guy that's coming, and I'm gonna give y'all a little hint. He only been doing a couple of weeks. He needed a device. He needed something to buy something, and he just bought it to go along with my program, right? But before that, we did a rudimentary kind of way of my program, and so he was brave enough to stick through it. But we about to go hard in the paint, ATL. This dude just got diagnosed with diabetes. He got put on insulin with the shots and metformin, and the metformin fucks a lot of people up. And he said he could not get his numbers under 350. Just couldn't get them. And the first couple of weeks of my program, he dropped to 150. Now he's down to 115. This is numbers. Whatever that number means for diabetics. I've been pre-diabetic for years. I ain't never,
That's still high.
Never. That's still high. 115 is still high.
The normal is 59 and above. I mean 59 below.
59 and below. But he came from 350.
That's still good. Yeah, that's good.
And it ain't even a whole month. And he down to 115. He done lost like 30-something pounds. In a couple of weeks. ATL, I'm a full disclosure, you guys. And I ain't gonna call nobody name. But some of you guys, y'all text me, y'all email me. There's a couple of guys that had issues with, y'all man thing. What shit you not? I asked, I talked to them. We go back and forth in email. I'm not gonna call their names. And I'll be like, what is the, I try to find it because my program is called Find the Health in You. Because I address your real health issues. Knowing that when I address your real health issues, then whether you come at me for losing weight, a lot of women come at me for losing weight. And a lot of guys come, for other things. But this guy, it's a handful of them. But this one particular guy couldn't come to attention, if you know what I mean. About a week and 4 days, the nigga could cut diamonds from what he say. From what he say, like he'll tell it. And I was happy for them. I've gotten people off of dialysis who had to go just by my program. Again, I'm not a doctor. I help you find your health, because if you pay attention to what's going on with your health, you can map out a way that you can eat for life like this and be happy and fulfilled in how you eat.
Let me
That's
tell
the
you,
whole.
can I tell you something about a fact
Yeah.
about the keto diet, right?
What's up?
And why it don't work for anybody
What?
and everybody?
Up?
Because they don't want to do it. They make excuses about the foods and, oh, I'm hungry, or I want to eat this, or oh, I'm used to eating this, I can't do it. That's the main number one excuse for the keto diet not working for anybody. If you do it, it's a fact that you will feel 100% better than what you was doing before you tried the keto diet. If it don't work, that means you didn't do it right. The keto diet depends on you and your willpower to know what's going on with your health and your body, to where you want to do it or not. If you don't want to do it and you try to cheat, then you're gonna get them results. But if you do it completely the way it needs to be done, you will feel a lot more energy. You'll be a lot more healthier. When you do it right, any problem that you have that you're going through, far as heart, diabetes, stomach issues, whatever you got going on, if you do this keto diet right, it will fix. I'm not gonna say 100% fix, but it would make you feel 100% better and bring your levels back to normal.
Oh, I believe you, and I totally am on board with what you just said. Because that's the thing with my program as well. I 100% guarantee that whatever problem you had, you won't have it no more, and you will drop weight like nobody's business. Like, I 100% guarantee that you're gonna drop anywhere between, I'm gonna say, 12, 20 pounds in that first week, and then continue to go on like that the next week. Real weight, not water weight. That's why I don't trip on the weight thing. I
Yeah.
100% guarantee that you're gonna do that. But like any diet, I don't care what diet you go on, if you don't drink the proper amount of water, you ain't gonna lose nothing. That's number one. That's any diet, keto, my program, anything. You don't
And
drink
see,
the
with the
proper
keto,
amount
that's
of
all you could
water.
drink is water,
Yeah,
water and stuff without no sugar in it. You know what
right.
I'm saying?
If you don't put the water, this is why y'all hear me say water, water, water. I say you don't know, it might save your life. Um, Water is a sustainer. So that's any diet. Reason why counting calories seem like it doesn't work,
I'm gonna tell you the
because
best water to drink that's out there right now that
what?
you will like. It actually tastes good. It's Propel.
That's that. Yeah, I just drink that. It costs. I do spring water. Plus, we got a spring water right down the street from me, like
Propel
free.
got the electrolytes that you need.
And I mean, I go to the spring up here, and we collect, like, we actually got a natural spring down the
You must
street
be
from
in
me.
West V somewhere.
Nah, I'm in Georgia. That shit good
Yeah,
as a
you in the
motherfucker
country in
too.
Georgia. My mom used to have that area code. My mom used to stay out there in Gay, Georgia, in Meriwether County.
They got a lot, man. This water, I was shocked because I know in Virginia we used to have springs everywhere, but this down the street from me, first, I mean, dang, cars be lined up. They built like a little hut around it. That water come out cold as a mug.
I
Fresh.
know
It's,
Griffith got the 706, Meriwether County, Georgia, parts of Fayetteville, because you gotta go that way. I forgot the other shit. Damn.
I'm
Yeah, but
happy.
yeah.
I'm
Huh?
happy they got spring water, but I drink spring water, right? But like I was just basically saying, water, period. If you don't drink the proper amount of water, ain't nothing gonna happen for you. I don't care what you're trying to do. Number two, again, my program is a little different. I don't get into like I'm not addressing just one thing. I have to attack everything because what I know about your health is once something big happened to you or something bad medically, it's like a domino effect. An imbalance anywhere in your body is an imbalance everywhere in your body. And me having cancer at such a young age, I sometimes have felt like, damn, girl, you could be a doctor or a nurse. I've taken anatomy classes because I don't like to talk to doctors um, when they talking like down, not in a negative way, but like they got to belittle what they're saying or play down what they're saying so you can understand it. I'll be like, no, talk to me like you talk to your peers. I'll keep up. And that's what I've done. And then, I ask her I always ask the question, why is this? Why is this happening? And just learning how the body function and everything. And I was like, oh, okay. So I've always had autoimmune disorders. What causes them? Okay, I need to fix that. Because outside of just having autoimmune disorders, believe it or not, I'm strong as a bitch. I got the lottery and when God was giving out gifts because I don't really get sick. I don't go through all that stuff. I get sick. I get sick from my disorder, which is
Yeah.
autoimmune disorder. I don't get sick like from just being around people, like catching colds and flu, and I don't really get that type of stuff because I have one of my autoimmune disorder is a blessing and a curse. I have an overactive immune system. That means like how some people got a high metabolism, I got a
Yeah.
high immune system. So that tells you right there. I don't catch nothing. I don't, none of that. But
Yeah.
autoimmune disorder means your body attacks itself. I can't, my immune system being that great, it can't defend against my own body attacking itself. That's how I had cancer in the first place. Because my body
Hey,
attacks itself and it degrades it. Huh?
one more thing with the keto diet, so I left out. You can eat as much salt as you want on the keto diet. Salt. Once you do it right, the salt don't bother you. The salt, you need the salt
Yeah,
because you
salt
get
is important.
cramps and stuff. Yeah, that's why
Salt
I see.
is,
Some
that's,
people back in the day, you remember the saying, people used to be like, don't put too much salt on that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mhm.
but no, salt is actually good for you.
Yeah, most of your, think of the oldest cities in the world. All cities, big time cities anyway, are built on salt deposit. New York, all the cities in England that end with which, they're salt deposits. All your major famous cities in the world, they were built on a salt deposit. Salt is important. Salt is calcium, and that's salt and calcium the same thing. You might as well say. And you have to I know that don't make sense, but it is. Um, and you have to have salt, sunlight, and water. You have to have that as a human being or as a living thing. Um,
Yeah, I had the
it's just
my
like
doctor gave me vitamin D pills too. He told me and stay out in the sun for like 20 minutes because them levels was low too. My vitamin
yeah.
D
See,
levels were low.
you got an
So that
absorption
came
problem.
up. That came up. My damaged kidneys came up to normal, and I went down 1 point from my sugar. So
Yeah, so see you got an absorption problem. So do I. That's why I'm telling you, like when something go wrong, it's like a domino effect in your body because your body is a balancing act, and everything works off of the next thing. And so when one thing gets thrown off, it's like the dominoes fall everywhere. And
but nah, this,
sometimes,
this the crazy part, Miss T. Like
mm,
I've been seeing these numbers from years from other doctors. I just got my doctor I'm with now because I told you I just had surgery on my neck in October. So
right,
I just got him. I've been seeing these numbers and try to look them up to see what they mean, but nobody ever explained it. So I've been going through this shit for like 10 years. So
yeah,
for me to get everything back normal, but my sugar let me know that, what I'm saying, this shit actually worked for me.
yeah, yeah. Whatever works for you, stay with what works for you. like like you have to look at your A1Cs, your hemoglobins. You have to go by all these different numbers, your platelets, so you can, so you can tell how your bones and all that is doing. Yeah, I get those printouts to all those numbers, and I want to see, like there was a time before I started doing this, like 6, 7 years ago, that my numbers, and I was like early 40s and stuff, and my numbers were pre-diabetic, my heart, and I mean just everywhere that shit count, where you can catch, like telltale signs you catch a stroke or a heart attack. My shit
My
was just
doctor
bad.
just told me, right? He said 8 out of 10 people
Mm,
are pre-diabetic and don't even know it because they
right.
doctor won't
If
tell
you
them. You
ever
have to
been
basically
told,
ask.
if you ever been told you're insulin resistance, because they'll tell you that, like people with weight issues, they'll be like, you're insulin resistant. They can tell you this in your 20s. That's another way of saying pre-diabetic. And is it really a pre-diabetic? Either you diabetic or you're not. That's my belief. Either you diabetic or you're not. I don't like this pre-diabetic thing because it's like basically what they saying is when you get to a
No,
certain level of diabetes, then they call you diabetic. But when
yeah,
you at that low level, they don't call you diabetic.
when you pre-diabetic, like my doctor told me, like he broke it down. You like most doctors ain't gonna tell you that. It was a study on the news. Doctors ain't gonna tell you that because 9 times out of 10, you went to the doctor for another problem. So
Hmm.
yeah, they run blood tests, but they gonna tell you about what you went there for. They ain't gonna tell you about what
Yeah,
the rest you got going on unless you ask. You know what I'm
that's
saying? So
another appointment. That's
yeah, you
a
know what I'm
money
saying. So
racket. Another appointment. But you gotta start reading up. Like I would tell anybody, and I'm a real big advocate of them starting to teach anatomy on some kind of level in high school. Not just health class, but anatomy, where you can learn how the human body functions. And then you'll understand what the doctors be telling you more and everything. So for me, again, I did all this stuff inadvertently, and I'm telling you, as a boxing coach, I help people cut weight. Oh, I help people cut weight. They were like, in a week, I have the dude cut. He had a fight on the Saturday. I have to cut weight from Monday to that Friday. He cut 20 pounds. And I ain't doing unhealthy. You are not going to be unhealthy in my program because you're not starving yourself. You are absolutely getting in all the nutrients, which are vitamins and minerals, because that's what you need to survive. That's what your body runs off of. It doesn't run off of meat. It doesn't run off of all that other type stuff. It does run off of sugar, but that's gosh, I call it God's sugar. The sugar that don't hurt because real sugar is real sweet. And trust me, I don't know anybody who can take that same reaction that you can take when you suck a lemon or that sour, that reaction you get like that. You can have that same reaction when you taste real sugar. Matter of fact, that's a homework assignment for everybody listening. Go to the store
hey,
and buy
hold
some
on,
real sugar.
hold on. Let me tell y'all too. At the same time, your body only supposed to consume 3 grams of sugar a day. That's it.
And how much do Americans normally consume?
Shit, over 100
Why is that? Tell
because
them why.
it's because sugar's in everything. You eat bread, you eat candy after that, you eat chips.
Well, then what do you say to the people who say, but I'm reading the label. I stay away from the things that got a lot of carbs on the label. What do you say?
Carbs. If you eat something that got 30 something carbs in it, if you divide that by 3, that's how many grams of sugar you eating with them carbs.
But here's the thing. What I was thinking you was gonna say. America does a great job compared to a lot of countries with labeling their food and putting what they got in the food on labels.
Yeah,
Like they do a
exactly.
very good job compared to other countries. But
Exactly.
America also lies because it's so much things that they don't put on that label. So many things in the food, like white bread. White bread compared to a Milky Way, which one is better? The Milky Way is better than the white bread or the
One
wheat
piece
bread.
of bread is 4 grams of sugar.
One piece of bread is a lot of sugar. But see, he said 4 grams. But what about the sugars that's not on the label? That's what I'm trying to say. This is why a lot of people
You
do
gotta,
diets
you
and
gotta,
count
you gotta
calories
do
and
your
don't do
research
well.
because it'd be other names on there that you probably don't know, and that's the replacement sugar. It's like fucking generic sugar, but they got other shit. You just gotta know what it is.
They got sugars in there that don't make the label. Let me just say it
Exactly.
like that.
No, it
And
makes the
so
label, but it has a whole nother name that you probably wouldn't think about looking up.
no, no, no. ATL, there's sugars in food and processed food
Yeah,
that
I know
don't
that.
make the
I know
label.
that.
Like they're not gonna have the name on it, and then
That's
they're
what I'm
not gonna have a
saying.
number beside it.
They're not gonna call it sugar. They're gonna call it hydroglycerol or some shit like that.
Yeah,
But it's sugar.
and guess what? How do you diet for that? How do
How
you
do you what?
how do you diet for something you don't know what's in there or you don't know the number?
Hey, how do you learn in life? What's life all about? Doing your
So
research and learning.
yeah, but what I'm trying to say, this is why a lot of people fail at diets. It's not everybody. Like there's a whole group of people of Americans who would be like, I'm gonna just count calories. Like I can tell you, my mom, my sister, and my daughter, they can all just count calories, like look at the label, say, oh, let me pull back based on the label. Shit works for them. Me, my nephews, and who else? My other niece, we can't do that. It don't work for us. So there's groups of people out there that try to calorie count, and they be like, "What the fuck? I'm killing myself, but I'm staying away from the bad stuff. I'm eating plain as I can," and they not having success because how can you diet for food that you're not told about? Like you say, even if you say they put it in a different name, but they're not putting the name and the number beside it. So how you diet for that? Can't. That's the answer. You can't. Can't say I'm gonna eat only 100 grams of carbs today because the grams of carbs that they didn't show on
It's
the
30
label
grams of sugar.
down. You know, you
That's
can't
way
count it,
past the amount of sugar you're supposed to have in your body a day.
but you can't count it. That's what I'm saying, ATL. You
If you
can't
want to live,
count
you will.
ATL. You missing my
This
point.
coming from me.
Listen, listen, listen. You can't effectively count stuff that's not in front of you.
I know what you're saying about
That's all I
the
was
sugar
saying.
and shit. Yeah.
That's all I was saying.
But
Yes.
let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you how I went wrong though, and how my doctor found out. Right, true
Mhm.
story. Friday, he explained to me he was talking about what he asked me like, what was you eating? You know what I'm saying? Everything else is good, but your sugar only went down once. So I was like, man, the only thing that I could think about that I ate wrong was sugar-free cookies, and he was like, see, they lied, just like you just said, Miss C. He said when they say sugar-free, they lied to you. He Chinese, so he was like, "What brand of cookie?" He pulled up on the computer. I showed him the brand. He pulled up the fucking, the back, the label, and the shit had like fucking 38 grams of carbohydrates. And he was like, "Okay, when you see that, now divide that by 3." And he said, "That's how you get your sugar intake." He said, "That's why your levels only went down once because of those cookies," which I
But
didn't know. Just like you just said, like how we supposed to know? You know what I'm saying?
or like when they got on the label high fructose corn syrup.
Yep.
Give me a number to work with
Yep.
so I can say, okay, I'm not going to eat anything with high fructose corn syrup that says over 30.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just eat the ones that says 10 and under. But you can't do it. You can't because they don't put it on there.
But
Or
look,
it may have lactase or
but look,
lactose.
at the same time, you absolutely right, Miss T. But I'm gonna tell you how I had to figure out what was going on. My doctor gave me this paper, right? It had shit I can't eat on it, shit I can eat. It had like 4 different people, including his brother that's Chinese, and he's a YouTube star for the keto diet. And he gave me they links is on there with their YouTube shit. So basically, what I got out of it when he told me what was going on, when nobody else told me what was going on, is that I had to do my own research. These guys that's on this paper, I have to watch their videos if I want any knowledge because I have no knowledge at all. So I had to actually watch these guys on YouTube, see what I can eat, see what I can't, and why. Why is this bad? Why is this bad? I had to watch all these different kind of videos because if they wasn't on the paper, I wouldn't know where to start at. So I had to do my own research to take care of my health because I knew that, number one, my family, that's diabetes is all in my family. I lost my grandma, my granddaddy, my last two aunties to diabetes. So I know it runs deep in my family. My cousin lost her vision, 2 toes. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I had to do the research if I want to continue being here for my kids, for my family. I had to actually watch these guys on YouTube. I had to actually listen to them and take what they said to help myself, but I had to do it myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to do it. I had to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I lost too many people in my family to it. So it's just something that I'm like, man, I can't just not do it. And I know this is what's going on with me. And if I don't do it, I know the consequences because I done, you know what I'm saying, laid my family to rest because of this. So that's why it was so important to me. That's why I did my research. And that's why I be trying to pass it along to anybody and everybody I can, because I know a lot of people ain't gonna say it, but I actually been through it. I don't talk about nothing I haven't been through personally. I'm not just throwing nothing out there, but yeah.
Yeah, and then everything, like you had the same thing for me. I personally experienced a lot, and like the crazy part, ATL, is 2 things I want to point out. The Chinese doctor, y'all know in China, the way they groom their doctors, you have to learn how to fix problems holistically before you can be a real doctor.
And my doctor is on the keto diet as well. He's been on it for 10 years.
Right, but listen, as a Chinese doctor, if they go to doctor school in China, a medical school, they have to learn how to holistically, give cures or treatments to people. Meaning, they have to learn herbal. They have to be a herbal doctor. I'm gonna say it like that before they can be a regular doctor. You can be a doctor, say like I want to be a foot doctor, but before you become a foot doctor, they make them learn herbs and everything. Like basically, stuff that can put you on a diet like the keto, or learn how to let food pretty much be the medicine, and they have to learn that before they can become doctors. Which American medical school, we don't do that, and that's number one. Number two, like you said, your experience. Same thing with me. I would not tell you guys nothing I didn't been through. And sometimes when you go through stuff in life, your testimony, you don't know who listening. You might help one person, but that was the one you're supposed to help. And so you give freely of your time and your energy, especially when you're trying to help somebody. Like I said, some of us, we don't want to be redundant because I'm sure everything ATL said, people probably said, I heard of it. Or anything I could say, I heard of it. But I'm just saying, we still gonna say it. We still gonna put it out. We still gonna put it out there because we know that in America or in the West, the way they disseminate information is nothing that me and ATL can't tell you that you ain't already heard of. But if you don't connect the dots, and ATL is living proof, you in your 40s, right?
Yep, 44.
And, yeah, you can get to a certain age, and you be like, how the hell I get this far down the tooth? And I ain't know that this what that meant. Like, you just be amazed. I remember I used to put meat tenderizer.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, Miss T, I'm gonna tell you one thing my doctor said that tripped me the fuck out. And you know what I'm saying? He was like, man, look, I'm Chinese. He said, why you think it's all these big Chinese people walking around here today? He said, I'm Chinese. I don't even eat rice and noodles. He said, I don't eat rice and noodles. That's bad for you.
It is.
And I was like, damn, after all these years, not knowing certain things, you would think that, since that's their main shit, they cook noodles and rice.
Well, I don't know about the
they eat.
rice, but I'm agree with you with the noodles for sure.
No, he said he don't eat rice or noodles. And he's from China. So that lets you know right there, like, okay, he knows some shit.
I like the rice because it comes from the ground. Anything that comes from the ground, I'm eating. That's the slight difference. But I feel you because a lot of rice in the store, what he probably know is y'all don't know this, but rice is plastic. You just said it, right?
Some people got plastic rice. Yep.
They be giving us plastic, y'all. And we
Allegedly.
be wrapping that shit up.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. And them oodles and noodles, don't eat that shit.
Yep.
That's just me. Man, I got it in my house today. My damn children like the shit.
I eat them if I'm about to die.
Mm-hmm.
I see. I eat them if that's the last resort.
I mean, they could come in the handy in the pinch. But there's a video out where somebody had put like some kind of camera. The person swallowed the camera. I don't know. It was inside them, and so they were showing how oodles and noodles go through your digestive tract.
Yeah.
They don't digest.
They just sit there.
You cannot digest it. You cannot absorb it. Now, why would you want to put something in your body that you can't digest and absorb? But we do it every day. Every day we eat bread. We're putting something in our body that we can't absorb because that sugar that's not on the label can't digest it.
Exactly.
And what you said, that carbs turn to fat.
Yep. No, turn to sugar.
Turn to sugar, then turns to fat. Everything you eat turns to sugar when you eat.
Bad fat that clogs your artery.
That put plaque on your veins and all this stuff.
It's good fat when you're on a keto diet, but it's bad fat when you putting all this sugar and cholesterol in your body and clogging up your pores and your veins. That's what's bad.
And they sent us on this campaign. Let me tell you, real fat is always good. So if you're gonna be a meat eater and you're gonna eat meat, get the meat with the fat on it.
Exactly.
See, we got slight differences in our approach, ATL, but we pretty much on the same page because the real fat is good.
Yeah.
It's when people think of it, like I said, I think of my program like algebra. You know, when you have a negative and a positive, that's a negative. But if you have a positive and a positive, that's a positive. If you have a negative and a negative, that's a positive. I mean, it comes out as a positive. Meaning, real fat is always good for your body because your body runs off of sugar. It really do. Your brain runs off of sugar. But when you eating all the Western diet and you trying to eat clean at the same time, that's the negative and the positive. You're going to get a negative. It's not going to work. But when you eat nothing but clean, everything runs like this.
Exactly.
Just can't
I can give a perfect example, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, anybody of our color and our descent. You know, you ain't got to be our color, our descent, but you go to a barbecue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's not even a barbecue, like New Year's at your people's house and shit. You know, y'all got some barbecue food, whatever kind of meat, macaroni and cheese, mashed potatoes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? That Kool-Aid, sweet potato pie. Then when you smash all that, you sleep. You tired. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because you eating all that bullshit.
That's sugar.
You know
Puts you in the itis.
Yep. That's what they call itis. Nah, you just goddamn clogging your goddamn arteries up, and you know what I'm saying? Your ass tired.
And you don't want that. And as bad as autoimmune disorders that I have, you know, I don't have a coronary blockage. My veins, my arteries don't have plaque on them. I have a damaged heart from when I was sick earlier in life. Like I said, once you they started taking the organ, it's like a domino effect. They took a major organ from me, so it took a total of 4. So I mean, I've had some. I can't really judge everything on me, but I lost some stuff. But I don't have nothing, no like clog, like plaque or nothing build up on my veins or arteries. My cholesterol is like a 20-something-year-old person. I mean, for all intents and purposes, outside of having an autoimmune disorder, and for me to get off the autoimmune disorder, I know everybody says it's weakness on my part. Like I do agree with you, it's the willpower of you. Some kind of way or another, the Western way of eating, I got to go the opposite way completely and never look back. But I don't know if that's something I can do. I mean, if my I'm sure I put in the right predicament. But when you living with other folks and you're around other people, man, that shit is hard because you never know. It might be the sweet tea that I needed to drink. Or sometimes I need tuna fish. I don't know. It just is what you tell yourself. But
Exactly.
it is. But if you like with my program, I guarantee 100% everything I say. And I'm like you. If it don't work, it's because you didn't do it. I guarantee it. And I'm telling you, in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna have my friend that I'm helping right now. And I told him, I said, give me a month. I'll have you off of the insulin for your diabetes and the metformin. Give me a month. And I'm telling you, he started with his diabetes being 350 plus, whatever. It was over 350. He tried. He said he couldn't get it down. So we worked out something. We haven't gone hardcore because I'm doing it actually with him. I'm actually just gonna go through the steps with him. We talk every day.
Hey, look,
whatever.
when you gonna do that?
We've been doing it. Like we've been
No.
doing it a
I
little
said
bit.
when you gonna bring them on, then I could bring one of my coworkers on that's doing it.
Okay.
Let him tell his story.
I'm on his. I'll call him and ask him tomorrow. Zach, we're gonna be on this program before this week or whatever. But I gotta ask him, But we going hard. He just got his juicer, so we about to throw it in overdrive, and so we're gonna see. But he went from 350. He could not get his numbers down, and now he get numbers like 115. And all my diabetic folks out there, y'all know what those numbers mean better than I do.
Mm-hmm.
He has to go get shots every day in his stomach, and he tired of the shit. He don't want to do that shit, and he has to be on metformin. Again, metformin ain't for everybody. I mean, it be fucking some people up, But my little sister, she's got diabetes severely too. I'm trying to work with her, but she's still young. When you young, it's hard to work with young folks because when you young, shit don't hit you like when you get older. But
that's why I'll take care of that shit early.
Yeah, I'll bring him on, and he can tell you. Like I can tell you this, he done lost like 30-something pounds in 2 weeks. He lost like 30-something pounds.
That's what's up.
Because he's eating it instead of juicing. But I was like, man, we're gonna go on overdrive, But yeah, that's why y'all hear me say water check, and you know what? Like anything, I bet you subscribe to this too, ATL. If you fail that day, like let's say cheated, don't beat yourself up in any diet that you do. Start it back up in the next hour. Start back up the next day. It's not the end of the world.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm finna read the normal range for the diabetic folks, right?
Okay.
It says hemoglobin glucinated. The normal range is from 4.0 to 6.2. So I guess anything over 6.2, you diabetic, but I'm pre-diabetic. So mine was 5.7. So
wait a minute.
I guess since mine was close to the 6.2, that's why I'm pre-diabetic.
I mean, you said hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is iron. But you call it something else. Hemoglobin is something. I think you want to look at the A1C number.
Let me see. Hold on. No, it is A1C. Yep. HBG, the HGB A1C. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's that number. Okay, yeah, hemoglobin is iron.
Yeah, it says normal range from 4.0 to 6.2. So I guess
Okay.
anything over 6.2, then I guess you're gonna be classified as type 1, I guess.
Okay, yeah, your A1C, especially as you getting older, that's those things they look at when they think you're gonna, possibly be a candidate for stroking out and
Okay,
having
look,
heart attacks.
it says diabetic 6.5. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because hemoglobin can go as low as 1 or 2 all the way up to 12. 12 is normal. 12 and up, 12 is normal. You want a hemoglobin that's up there high. When your hemoglobin number drops real low, you can get hit in the head and don't wake back up. When your iron is low, it's an indication that you're gonna have other things that's low. If you have vitamin D, which is actually a hormone, your vitamin D is low, then that's telling me right there that you got an absorption problem. So you have to find food that address absorption. Gonna be your berries. It's what you know. Go ahead. So that's the only number you looking at.
Yeah. As far as
Okay.
my everything else back normal.
There you have it. So yeah, you got to take charge and and just learn your body, learn how it functions, and like I said, for my program, I don't mind anybody talking about their programs and picking up there because if it helps, it helps. There's 1,000 ways skin a fish. Remember that I ain't knocking nobody's particular way. I'm setting mines because I had to find something. And I've tried, listen, y'all, I've tried everything under the sun. I was sick first at 24 when everybody else was young and frolicking and having a good time. A
She
nigga
said,
like me was on the operating table getting a major organ taken away from her because I had cancer. So I missed out on a lot of stuff. But I don't think I totally missed out on nothing, but I had some setbacks, but I had to learn, over time, you know, what I could do. I'm limited. I can't be like you guys. I can't even compare myself to you guys because you guys have more than what I have. I lost a lot. So I'm not ain't no pity party with me. It's just I just know where I stand. So that means I extra got to do stuff where some of you guys my age would probably be like, I'm still young, man. I can wait a little bit longer. I can't wait. I had to make a move. And, because 15 pills, who want to take 15 pills per day? 15 of them joints.
Hell no.
And now, like I said, doing my program, I'm down to 6. My
That was
cholesterol is great. For most of my peers, people my age, they be having, it's hard to say say bad cholesterol. Because you got good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. That's a real thing. But I'm talking about like bad in the way like it ain't good for your cholesterol numbers ain't where they supposed to be. A lot of my peers have that problem. I don't. I was, but I don't now. They try to put me on them pills too. I'm like, nah, I'm not taking no more motherfucking pills. I was like, all right, you want this? You want to address that? You want to clean off plaque and on your veins and your arteries? I said, all right, I'm gonna start eating some beets. Shit did it. Work. This is what I do. That's what I do. So, like I said, I know how to put recipes together and to maximize what we're trying to do. And most people in America are acidic and have an absorption problem. That's the most common thing that I find in America. And when you address that, shit, I'm telling you, you'll be amazed at how you feel. Like you'll be like, I don't remember even feeling like this.
Exactly.
Like I have females that be like, how do I help me with my cramps and stuff? Period cramps. I know y'all guys don't want to hear much about it, but it's a very debilitating thing to have menstruation. I've had women with that, because I've been a victim of it too. But I like they'll tell you the information. They be like, when you drop body fat, especially quickly, you'll make the period go away. Now, a woman to hear that be like, yeah, let me get that. But which one of us is gonna be out there busting a grape trying to drop body fat that fast? That shit ain't gonna happen.
Nah.
And it's like every time a woman trying to lose weight, it'd be like some secret demon in the inside, be like trying to stop you from losing weight or something. Because women are designed to carry weight. But there are certain things you eat that can address that, you know. It's like they tell you this information, but remember, you guys, it's a guide. Remember, in life, I don't care what you do in life, in the school, job, whatever, everything is a guide. Well, it's just a guide. They took 100 people, they lined them up, and they say, all of y'all eat some Raisin Bran. Let me see what it do. You know what I'm saying? Half of the people be fighting and shitting all day. And some of the people they ain't doing that too. So then they make a consensus of what Raisin Bran do to the body. And that's how they come up with their guides. So just because they say you should eat a 2,000 a day calorie, take in 2,000 calories. That was the average that they saw that could work with their food pyramid. It's not a one size fit all, Or like when I was watching, I don't know if you watch CC Reacts. I watched some of her shows.
Yeah, I watch her show.
Remember she was talking about how every time she had to go to jail, they made her wash her hair for lice.
Mm-hmm.
Look, newsflash.
And she was like, I don't got one like no goddamn lice.
Black people don't get lice.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't get lice. They don't like our hair. But
that's crazy.
But they made her do it. And you know what they did? They lined 100 white girls up. Or maybe they had 5 or 10 out the 100 of women. And they said, okay, we need them to take, because we don't want a lice epidemic breaking out in the jail population. So it don't hurt them. But how you know it don't hurt them? It's going in your skin. That treatment is going in your skin. You can't say it don't hurt you. Because it's seeping in your skin. And so they make whether you white, black, or whoever, take a shower with lice treatment. And that's not fair to black people because we don't get lice.
Exactly.
The doctor don't care. So this is what I mean by take everything as a guide. Just a guide, y'all. That's all they did. They lined up people and say, ask a question, get the consent. And that's it. That's all they did. It's not a one size fit all. So that's why I always say 1,000 ways to skin a cat. But what we do know, as me and ATL both said, salt is important in your diet.
Yep.
Water is important in your diet. And everybody needs sunlight. Plants and animals.
Yep.
So that's why I always talk about water. ATL, please do come through and keep talking about your progress. And I'm definitely going to get with my friend and ask him when he going to be ready to come on. But I've asked everybody I helped. And I do charge y'all because I cater your regimen specifically to you and your issues. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. I don't negate what any doctor say or any dietitian say. I know the things that I'm saying don't hurt you. Whatever the doctor told you to do, you can do that. What the doctor say and what I'm doing, it won't hurt you. I'm not, no way, shape, or form interfering with anything the doctor says. But I inadvertently stumbled onto this things that I do, and I put these recipes together only because I didn't want to take a lot of medicine, y'all. That's how I found them. It wasn't like Miss T was trying to find something that she could sell a product or help people. It was nothing like it was all selfish reason. Miss T didn't want to take 15 to 20 pills a day. I was getting wore out. I said, nope, I'm not gonna do it. And I took a chance. I said, shh, if they make a pill, then it's something they know that there's food out there to do the same thing as that pill. And let me just go find it. And that's what I did. That's all I have, AT. Anything else?
Nah, man. You know, I just came by to kick it, man. I'm gonna be on here with you, man. You know, my birthday weekend was wild, so you know, I'm just recuperating. So I'm gonna be back.
Yeah, a lot of my friends, my niece about to, what's she gonna be, 26 or 25? And she a new mother. Shout out to Diamond.
That's what's
Um,
good.
a lot of my friends, you know, Tupac's birthday was the other day.
Mm-hmm.
June 16, 1971. That was a good year.
Yep. Gemini's.
Yeah. My homeboy Todd, like his birthday coming up on the 26th. My uncle David, at the end of the month. But we in Cancer season as of tomorrow, right?
In about an hour, yeah, I'm losing my power.
Shout outs to all the cancers out there. We in Cancer season.
You know what
Rolling
I'm
up.
saying?
But anywho, but look, it ain't been a lot going on in boxing, but I had some news. I'll just share it tomorrow. But anytime me and ATL, we on a mission with this health stuff, and you know we can break out in the health talk. You know, break up the monotony. It's more to life than boxing, but you know,
Exactly.
and we can break up the monotony and talk about the things we learn. You guys can follow or you don't. But again, nothing. I don't care what diet you choose to do. If you ain't got water in your life, I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly.
But that's all we got today. Know better.
You do better.
Always. So we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Peace.